Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
We are in. Welcome into Woodward Nights, baby. Victory Monday. Another Victory Monday we get to enjoy. Not just a regular one, Broder. This is a playoff, an NFC Championship edition of Victory Monday for the Detroit Lions. They are headed to the NFC Championship game to take on the San Francisco 49ers. I put it in here. If you guys saw our prep right now, in our prep, it said, I just kept typing it in. The Detroit Lions are going to the NFC Championship game. The Detroit Lions are going to the NFC Championship game. The Booner path has come to fruition. Appreciate all of you guys, though, tuning in to Woodward Nights. My name is Booner. Matt Broder.
Hey!
Detroit Lions beat reporter. We've got KG in the booth. KG, how we feeling?
Switching spots, man, but I'm feeling good. And I got something to tell you, man.
Uh-oh.
Sign me up for the 2023 inductory class. I'm on the Booner path.
Yeah,
bro.
baby.
I'm on the Booner path, baby. Let's get it.
Welcome aboard, baby. Let's go. KG. The real KG, baby.
The real KG.
And we've already got someone in the building who's on the Booner path. That is Nick.
Let's
sound
go,
booth. Hey, yo,
boys.
Nick.
Hey, you know we are buzzing in this room, in this studio today. The city's buzzing. Last night was an absolute movie. They poured out like 150 free shots at the bar celebrating during that Red Wings game after the big Lions win last night.
You went to the Red Wings game after?
No, it was at the bar across the street.
Oh, okay, got you.
It was just the city downtown had a different atmosphere. It was just incredible to be down there.
Hey,
so much fun.
I want to, can we go single shot? Because
I got you.
See you guys later.
The Booner path, I do have to talk to the people real quick. This is what the Booner path was all about. Think about this, guys. The Detroit Lions are playing on Sunday night for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. They're 60 minutes away, 4 quarters away from becoming the best Detroit Lions team you've ever seen in the history of the Detroit Lions organization. This is what the Booner Path was about. This is what this team's about. Sheila Fordham, the best owner we've ever had, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, best running back, best GM head coach duo that we've ever seen in Detroit Lions history. This team has a chance to go make history and go to the Super Bowl and compete for a Lombardi trophy. There was haters. There was national media who hopped off during the Rams week. And Dan Campbell said it best. Those people, you can all stay off. They already tried hopping back on. Guess what? It didn't pick up. The traction didn't pick up. No one listened to him. Everyone ignored them. Dan Orlovsky's been talking about the Lions the last 7 days. Don't even know anymore. We don't want to hear him.
You are trash!
Trash. Everything's out. All you loyal fans, 0-16, the Quinn Trisha people, well, this is what we've been made for. We were all built for this. These moments is what we were built for. A chance to go to the Super Bowl and compete for a Lombardi trophy. The Detroit Lions, fellas. After the game, I sit over there with Spencer and I'm quiet. Like, you guys see me on camera, I'm quiet. I'm like, my energy just got drained and I just can't believe what is happening. Like, this is something, like, we're living in this world right now, brother. You were in the building, the energy, all of that. What was that like? Like, I just want to hear you. I just want to hear what you have to say.
I need Nick involved in this too. I'll kick it off. But Nick was right. He was probably more in it than I was. But I got the bird's eye view of everything. And would you believe me if I said it was consistently louder and more electricity than the Rams game?
If consistently, no, I would. Dude, you have a chance to go to the NFC Championship game. I figured fans were going to be on one, ready to go.
It was nuts. So the one worry when you win the coin toss and elect to receive is a crappy first drive that takes the fans out of it. Couldn't have gone worse to start the game. But as soon as that defense walked back on the field, the entire arena, the entire field exploded. Like, as loud as I remember it, and it just continued like that the whole game. Then C.J. Gardner-Johnson, C.D. Ducey gets that pick, goes and flips it to Baker Mayfield. Like, It couldn't have been more perfect to get the crowd involved. And then from there on, it was insanity with the towels. I went home, I talked to friends, and they were all saying like it looked like a college football atmosphere.
Yeah, some people I talked to, it might have been, I can't remember who it was. Someone said it looked like Penn State, and it was just like the way it is. And I'm convinced.
Like with the white towels?
Yeah, I'm convinced that this is like when the Ford Field's going, the Detroit fans are going at the best, that is the toughest atmosphere to play in the NFL. I know there's been technically some louder, and I don't know if they ended up breaking the decimal record.
I don't think it's come out yet.
I would love to know, because when that Derek Barnes interception happened, I saw the video of the sideline, and the Lions posted it. That boom from the crowd had to have broken it. That was electric. Like I could imagine it's over 133 from last week.
I think it's got to be. It's not close.
And the clinch to go to the NFC Championship, you would think like that place just erupted.
Now there are two teams, well, there are probably more, but the last two teams can totally vouch, and I think will vouch how loud, how electric it was. They've talked about it positively, like Baker Mayfield even. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were impressed with Ford Field. And that's what, as a professional athlete, you like playing in that. Even in an away field, like, it's harder, but you want to go to an atmosphere like that. That's fun. That's what they grew up doing, or dreaming of, I should say, if not actually experiencing that. Nick, what do you think about it?
Yeah, you definitely don't want to start with the 3 and out there, but I do love that we took the ball. We were ready to go on offense. We just didn't execute the right plays right there. But think about this home field advantage. We are now 2-0 all time at Ford Field in the playoffs. I have a very strong feeling that number is just going to keep on rising. I don't see us losing at home in the playoffs anytime soon in the next 10 years, honestly. So this team, this city, if all roads lead through Detroit, good luck winning in Ford Field. It was absolute insanity in Ford Field. It was so loud. Towels waving, the lights flashing on everybody's wrist. That was so cool to see. It was just an electric night, one I will certainly always remember.
Yeah, and they should have, like, the Packers. First of all, we haven't had a conversation since that Packers-49ers game. And we're going to get into it later, the 49ers matchup, and then throughout the whole week, because one of the biggest weeks of all time in Detroit Lions history. But with that being said, is Packers should have won. Lions almost had a chance to host the NFC Championship game. That would have been electric. An NFC Championship game at home. I remember 2 months ago or 3 months ago when the Booner Path started. I keep saying this. I've probably said this on like 8 straight shows I've been on. I said, though, if the Detroit Lions get 2 home games in the playoffs, I put a Booner guarantee that I said I'll put a lock on there that they will be playing in the NFC Championship game. That is exactly what happened. They went out there, they got 2 home games, and they did not lose at home. They were never losing at home. At the watch party, I'm sure everyone was nervous when it was tied going into the 4th. Stick looked at me and said, Booner, we've been in this position all year long. They're tied going into the 4th quarter. They have the ball. And in the 4th quarter, they have came every single time, and they have produced in the 4th quarter, it feels like. Even if they were down in that Bears game, they have done that every single time. And there was no reason they weren't going to do that on Sunday night in the 4th. I do have later in the show, too, what is the show, Up and Adams? Is that Kay Adams?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was a graphic that I saw on Twitter of Jared Goff in the 4th quarter. It will shock a lot of people. And that is not just like last week in the 4th quarter. This is like the last 8 weeks in the 4th quarter. You guys are going to be shocked. I won't do it now. We'll do it when we talk the game. Shocking stat, though.
I bet it's a lot of completions. That's my
It's
my
a lot
gut.
of everything. I'm going to throw that out there. This team like Sunday was nuts. And I do want
two straight games victory formation ended out.
Yeah, which the clock situation, I put a tweet out and I was wrong. I don't want to delete tweets. I was dead wrong on a tweet today.
Hey, that's
I don't
okay
know if
to
you guys
admit.
Didn't Todd Bowles have a chance to call timeout and get the ball back?
So this is a situation. Todd Bowles, they had one timeout going into the final possession, so the Lions could have just need the ball. Dan Campbell and the Lions gave them a chance because they didn't take the full play clock down every time.
That's on Jared.
It's on Jared and Dan. It's on both of them. Those guys need to know that. And I don't think Dan realized it either. And when I tweeted it out, I saw the video of the interception that they had one timeout. So I thought, oh, they had one timeout. They never had a chance anyways. But then when I went back and someone tweeted me, They were taking a knee with like 15 seconds left on the play clock. And if they would have called a timeout, they would have had about 30-something seconds left to force a field goal, maybe a missed field goal or a punt. And then it was time management there. That was a little iffy. We're lucky that they didn't realize what we did.
I love iffy.
Gotta clean it up going forward.
Yeah,
that you can't do that in playoffs.
I realized that about 30 minutes ago, too, driving in. I was like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe I missed that.
I know this is skipping ahead, but Lorena Rios just asked me a question, and now I can't stop thinking about it. Are they allowed to wear the blueberries on Sunday?
It depends on the 49ers what they choose to wear.
Can they choose whatever they want, or do they have to wear
49ers? I think home
do they wear red at home?
Because we wore the blueberries, I think, in Minnesota.
Do they wear red at home, or will they wear white?
It depends.
They normally wear red, though, I feel like.
Yeah, but you can't wear it dark on dark.
Yeah, so we probably have to go.
It has to be a lighter color.
I'm cool with the all whites, though.
Just the all whites,
no.
I'm pretty sure we might be like 4-1 or 3-1. I have the thing at home. I had a little piece of paper. I did the tally on. I think we have only lost one game in all whites.
But the blueberries.
The Blues, if they end up going white, if they go white and gold, you better go all blue.
Oh yeah,
because we wore all blue in Minnesota.
The antioxidants really help. They perform. It lasts the whole game. It helps nutrients and vitamins. Booner, it was so fun, that game. I wish everyone could be there, but it seems like, and I've heard this from a lot of people on the broadcast, like they could tell how insane it was. Although I heard Chris Collinsworth was talking a lot about Baker Mayfield, not as much about the Lions. ESPN, where's their coverage of the Lions too? I know we're going to keep it positive.
But no, we could be negative on that. That's just the national thing, because at some point, and we have a segment today talking about America's team, the Detroit Lions. That's the thing that's just it's going to be forced to change. Like it's going to be, the fans are going to force. It's one of those things to where ESPN and them, they all ignore it. They want to go against the Lions. Maybe one or two people will. There's going to be so many people around the country that are going to be on the Lions side and cheering for the Lions that ESPN is going to be forced to have to talk about the Detroit Lions and be put in a position to where now the Lions are America's team. And we have a full segment on that too. But I believe that. I believe that they're going to be forced to have to in the next couple weeks. And in a press conference today, Dan Campbell did get asked, hey, I know you have a lot of extra things that are going to happen this week. Like, how are you going to handle that? And his response was, I'll see what I have to do, but if it takes away from my game day, I'll just turn around and I just won't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Like typical Dan Campbell.
Epic.
Locked in.
Because there's so many national outlets. There's just all new types of responsibilities.
And he doesn't care.
No.
He's like, I'll answer his
he'll
questions.
Do it if he has the time. He'll do what needs to be done. He's not trying to avoid the media, but if it cuts into his time.
Funny thing is too, Kyle Shanahan, he's like the pretty boy that's going to be like, oh, I'd love to be on TV. Let me do all the interviews I can.
Was it Kyle Shanahan or Cliff Kingsbury who a couple years ago had the draft, the COVID
Cliff
year?
Kingsbury.
That was Cliff and
his house.
Like, come on.
Wild move. And then he gets fired a couple years later.
And goes to Thailand with about $70 million.
Jesus.
Yeah. Wow.
Art Vandelay said Chris Collinsworth sounded like Baker had Netflix and chilled him the night before. Yeah, there was a lot of Baker things going in. A couple breaking news here before we do go to break, and then we get into kind of the breaking down the game and talking about this Lions NFC Championship appearance. First thing here, if you guys didn't see yet, obviously Brock Wright broke his forearm, which I didn't know until today. Didn't realize that happened, but he broke his forearm. In the situation, remember a couple weeks ago when Sam Laporta went down, everyone, even myself, tweeted out, let's go after Zach Ertz. Detroit Lions did it. They went after. They brought in Zach Ertz because Brock Wright got injured. And this is a guy, too, guys, that he's a vet.
He's a handsome fellow.
He is. I'm sure he's already in game shape. If he's joining in the middle of a run, he's already in game shape, and he will be ready to go on Sunday.
Let's go.
Yeah, and he worked with Steve Hyden, the tight ends coach of the Lions, who was formerly with Arizona. So they have a relationship. Yep. They can get up to speed, and I'm sure whatever they ask him to do is going to be relatively basic. Laporta's going to be the guy in the pass. It's having another option, whether it's third string behind Fursker or actually the second string tight end, where he might get 15, 20 snaps. We'll see. But he's a veteran. He knows how to do. He's a good athlete.
Dude, I mean, he's
in shape.
They have to, like, you take Sam out, that you have to still eye in on him. Like Brock Wright, yes, there were plays. He made big plays. But Zach Ertz, like, I know he's still older, but you put him in there. You have to make sure you have Zach Ertz because he will make. He's played in a Super Bowl. He's gone on runs. He's been on good teams. Like, he's put numbers up in this league.
Sorry, go ahead.
And we've seen Ben Johnson. He schemes for those tight ends very well. And you see Brock Wright kind of running free a lot of times. So if Zach Ertz, great pass catcher, I think he's going to be super successful.
Vincent Ellison said Ertz will be huge in the run game too. As a vet, he knows that exactly. Like,
they wouldn't sign him if he would be a liability or just would be a nothing. They would figure it out with the guys that they have with Skipper. But they signed him for a reason. They're going to use him, and he helps out with Detroit fantasy football names. He's one of the most popular. You know, my ball Zach Ertz. That's one of the most popular fantasy names.
That's an early pause.
Yeah.
15 minutes in, bro.
Yeah,
Hey, we're rolling
here, man.
We're rolling.
We apologize if you're a new viewer. Don't listen to him now.
You've seen someone with that fantasy football name.
I've seen some wild fantasy football names.
Yeah, I want to shout out just for 5 seconds. Red Wings had a massive win against Tampa Bay as well. 2-1, Red Wings. Lucas Raymond. Silent treatment.
Hey, KG,
you hear that?
KG, can you throw the Jonah Jackson graphic up? Nick, I love you. The Detroit Lions are going to the NFC Championship game.
I know, it was the 5 seconds on the show.
Hey, I'm glad he actually called. I was making a joke.
I respect
100%.
that.
Tampa Bay had a rough Sunday in Detroit. How about that?
This is another breaking news, though. This is a bad breaking news. Detroit Lions offensive lineman Jonah Jackson underwent surgery for a meniscus tear and is expected to miss the NFC Championship game. Devastating hit. Yeah. Because I don't know if you guys remember the stat we've given out the last few weeks. When this Detroit Lions offensive line is all together, I think they're like 7-1 or 6-1, whatever the stat is now.
And the losses to the Cowboys.
Yeah, so missing a guy is huge. It is, especially a guy like Jonah. Maybe if you win this Sunday, he could be ready for the Super Bowl. Because Frank did have the same exact surgery earlier this year and missed one game, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. And then he came right back and he was ready to go.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You like the experience of Coyote Awosika, who has filled in with Graham Glasgow, with Colby Sorsdale on a few occasions, but it is a downgrade. Not that he can't withstand the storm, but that defensive line, those linebackers for San Francisco are impressive. Impressive.
Yeah.
And a lot of the pressures in the second half on Jared Goff yesterday came from that left guard position. So
they'll scheme it. They'll scheme and figure something out. I'm sure, Ben. And then real quick, too, I do want to throw this out there.
Throw it out
I know
there.
we're over a break here already, but
Eagle.
The Frank Ragnow thing, did you guys see that?
Dude's an absolute animal.
Well, let's talk about that when we come. Our first thing when we come back, because I have a video of him talking about it.
Yes.
And that man is. If I can, I live every day to be like Frank Ragnow.
Yeah, let's go Red Wings.
I want to be Frank Ragnow. Go Red Wings, baby.
Yeah, LGR Dubs.
Hey, the Detroit Lions. Hey,
let's go.
Hey, go Red Wings, Nick. Hey, if you guys didn't know, Detroit Lions are in the NFC Championship game.
Let's go. Lions won again.
And JMO was hitting that gong earlier in the season, or the goal buzzer.
The button, yeah.
The button, yeah. The siren.
All right, let me tell you guys about Lady Jane. See this beautiful mullet that I got? Just got it cut on Friday. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams. And all expenses paid for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. You can take the room here with you. Take the Booner path with you and the fellas. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Wicked. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
The Detroit Lions have won 2 playoff games. That's 2. So what does that mean? Ideally, another tailgate if they're having one. Let's pretend we know that they're having one this week. I'm sure they're going to do something. So join us. Join them for the Ultimate Lions VIP tailgate, hosted by Bullseye Event Group, sponsored by Long Drink. We will have more information for you throughout the week.
Detroit Lions, listen, we're going to the NFC Championship game, baby. First time since the 90s, this train and this path is going to keep on rolling and rolling and rolling all the way to the Super Bowl. San Francisco, baby, you're on the clock, Brock Purdy, and we're coming for your head. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, pay that man Jared Goff. Lions, baby, NFC Championship game. Cheers. Hey, 2 more wins for a Super Bowl, and we're bringing Lombardi to Detroit, baby. Let's go. Let's go!
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit the like button right now. Hit the like button if you haven't already, man. This right here, some grit, baby. That's what this Detroit Lions team has in that win versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. First thing I want to bring up to, and I teased it last summit, was Frank Ragnow.
Oh,
we're going to do players of the game and all of that. I don't know. I didn't ask you who you had, so we may have the same guys on both sides.
I don't have him, but he could totally be named it. Like when you think about it.
Let's do Frank Ragnow appreciation minute here.
Yes. You want to start it off?
I'm going to start it off. That man is a warrior, first of all. He deserves all the props in the world. He did talk to the media after the game, too, and I want to play that video and he spoke about what it means to him to be out on the field with these guys. Because if you guys didn't know, it came out today that Frank Ragnow, he had a sprained knee and a sprained ankle. Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen people, and I've been in sports a long time, I've seen people get a sprained ankle and be out, like, whatever, depending on how bad it is, or even if it's not bad, just be like, hey, I don't think I can go. He had a sprained knee on top of that.
And Booner, remind me, because I forgot. The game was so long ago. Remind me who lines up across from Frank Ragnow.
Oh, maybe one of the best defensive tackles in the game is Vita Vea.
Monster.
Yeah, like one of the best in the game. And right after all of that happened and he got hurt, the Detroit Lions had the ball at the 1-yard line, and guess who they went behind? Frank Ragnow and Vita Vea. And he dominated. He fell down to his knee and still held his block. Respect to him. I mean, that man is the best center in the NFL. Should have been a first-team All-Pro over Jason Kelce. Respect to Jason Kelce, but all due respect. But I think Frank should be first-team All-Pro this year. He did get second team. But here's Frank Ragnow. He's talking about what it means for him to be out on the field and talked about kind of playing through that injury.
To me, the pain, I'm not trying to sound like some brute tough guy here, but I was just more frustrated than anything. The fact that it's just, again, but it was tough, but it was worth it.
What allows you to play through that? Other people can't, maybe.
My parents, I don't know. My dad was one of the toughest people I've ever met. My mom's one of the toughest people I've ever met. And I just take a lot of pride in being out there with the guys, being out there for the city. They signed me to this extension a few years ago, and I want to be fulfilling that, I don't want to be that guy who gets paid and not doing that stuff. I want to be out there and finding a way to win.
That's Frank Ragnow. That's your center. That's a piece.
He's the heart.
I forget what year he was drafted. Not Taylor Decker's year, but he's been a Lion for many years, and he embodies this team. Like this is, you brought up the 2 injuries yesterday. He also has 9 toes, or I should say 9 working toes. To play center and to go through that, he wasn't coming out of that game. Like there was no question in his mind. And to have that mentality, that's special. That's part of what makes this team special. Having that guy who is your anchor, and I'm sure having Jonah Jackson out before that was even double the motivation. Like, man, I can't let this team down right now. We need to continue what we're doing. So, Nick, I hear we have something to sound the alarm. Let's go. IT Hips.
I thought it was the Red Wings.
No, they won yesterday. Red Wings. What was the score, Nick?
2-1 against Tampa Bay. Massive game for the division. All right.
You want to ask this? You want to read this?
What is it?
IT Hips. All right, I'll read it. What does the Booner path lead us next with? Where does the Booner path lead us next with our Super Bowl opponent?
IT Hips, my guy. Hey, 940. We're talking about the Booner path. I appreciate.
Let's go. Shout
I
out.
appreciate the donation. 940. We are talking the Booner path. What's next in the Booner path? That will come up. We're talking about that. I did want to, Frank Ragnow, before we move on to the rest of the game, Dan talked about it today in his press conference about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. He mentioned how Frank is one of those guys. You see what he does on the field. You see the impact he makes in games and on plays. But the stuff he does off the field for the team and watching film and all that, he said he's probably the best center in the league at doing what he does. He said that Frank Ragnow reaches out to coaches at 4:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and it's like, hey, where's the film? I need this breakdown. I need this. And he's in there. I remember a couple months ago when Frank was out, and I think they might have lost actually when he was out one of the games. And I said the next day, Frank is one of those guys in your center, especially when you have an all-pro center. He's a guy that it's not just Jared Goff making checks and making calling out blitzes and doing that. It's Frank Ragnow as well. Yeah. And Dan said today that him and Goff, they have that connection to where those two guys sit in the film room throughout the week and they break down every single blitz package that the other team has. And on top of that, the blitz packages that not just they feel like they're going to hit them with, but just random ones that they've used throughout the year. So they both know on the same page when they see something together, they can call it out. That's how elite Frank Ragnow is. Like, you don't have centers that are that elite all the time. You have an all-pro guy that is an all-pro blocking and doing what he does, but as well as in the film room and helping lead that offense. As much as Jared Goff gets that credit, Frank deserves a lot of it because he's out there doing just as much as well, which is crazy to think.
100%.
That's what it is.
He is as special as Penei Sewell is, and we regard him as the best offensive lineman, which he is. Frank Ragnow is the anchor of that line. It starts with the center. It's like a goalie or a catcher. It's just that pivotal part of your team. Yeah. And I don't want to think ahead. We don't need to go into this conversation in too much detail, but I would love to see them either draft or sign a young interior lineman, a center or a guard that Frank can mentor for a year or two. He signed through 2026, but you never know how long his body's going to hold up. And I don't want to speak for him. Could last until 2026 and get another contract, but I would love to him in his prime and when he's playing his best, have a little mentee so he can bring up the ranks and just take over for him.
Shout out Frank, man.
Yeah. By the way, I saw Cody Mock walking out of the locker room after the game out of North Dakota State, right guard for Tampa Bay. Stud.
Oh, yeah. He's the guy that, the teeth thing.
The teeth, long hair.
He was a legend in the draft.
I wanted him.
Let's into this Bucs game.
Borderline pause.
Yeah. I mean,
Zinter, yes.
Zach Zinter. But let's talk about this game though, real quick. I know we have a couple minutes left here. We'll go over this segment again. But this Lions team, fellas, there's something that we've been talking about a lot to say, like, hey, when the playoffs come around, you need to be playing your best football. And Dan said it all year. You need to be playing complementary football. It feels like they're doing that. And it does feel like, yes, there are times where the offense might struggle. But when that happens, it feels like that's when the defense steps up. Or when you need something like a big play, like your offense just didn't get a drive going, and Jack Fox steps up and pins him back. It's just like everything that, like, when you need something to happen and one unit is down, the other one picks him up. When that unit's down, the next unit picks him up. And that's why, like, when you give up almost 200 yards to another receiver and that offense is rolling, when you're playing complementary football, dude, like, no one can beat you.
Yeah.
You can go play the 49ers this week. If you're playing as a team and all together and one team's down, the other one's up, you're going to win that football game because, like, and that's what I think I took out of this Bucs game was they're playing their best football of the year right now.
Yeah.
They've beaten back-to-back very, very hot teams, and now they're going to play one of the best in the league. I think they can
defense,
get that job done.
Yeah, the defense is coming up with big stops. You know, they have given up yards, especially to a top receiver. And in this one, actually, Kate Otten, the tight end, had a pretty big day also for Baker. But when they needed the stops, they got them. I think they forced 5 punts. There was 2 field goals. They had 2 turnovers to the Bucs 0, or forced 2 turnovers. They had 2 takeaways, both at crucial times. Literally the first drive and the last drive. That's what you want out of this defense, just to when the time comes that they step up and make the play. Yes, Mike Evans and Kate Otten beat them on a handful of plays. It wasn't the cleanest game, but again, one of those last big plays, I believe it was to Mike Evans. It might have been Chris Godwin. Cam Sutton, who, again, he got beat earlier in the game. He came up with a big play in tight coverage on, I think it was Evans, that forced a punt late in the game. It was, you're 100% right with the complimentary football. Badgley kicked a field goal, had 4 extra points. It was all clicking. Not all at the same exact time, and there were things that they can clean up. But, man, even the third quarter was pretty good. Like, that was one of their better third quarters. I can't remember the order, but they had to stop. They scored. Man, they're learning how to do new things. And now with these safeties blitzing, with action coming to help Aiden Hutchinson out, Aiden's getting home. If he's getting home, Brian Branch is playing like a menace. Some of these guys are playing their best football at the best time. That's what Sam Laporta and Dan Campbell referenced a few. It was after the Thanksgiving game.
Once you get that confidence too, like once you get that confidence of playing football like that, like that adds up and adds up. That's when you see teams go on Super Bowl runs and truly go and win a Super Bowl. If you go back and look, like when the Rams won with Matthew Stafford, like some guys in that team just like they started getting confidence because typically it's like you always are going to have players on good teams. You're going to have those main players, but when some of these other guys like Derek Barnes, like CJ came back. Aleem's back and getting confident again. That other side of Aiden Hutchinson, those 3 or 4 guys, they're getting confident. These linebackers are getting on offense. Josh Reynolds is getting back to where he was to start. Once you get those secondary guys that start stepping up, that's when those are those teams that go and win the Super Bowl. Because it's the thing, like the 49ers, if you watch that Packers game, guess what? Some of those secondary guys weren't stepping up and struggling, and the Packers were taking advantage of it. And if you take advantage of that this Sunday, it's going to be a long day for San Francisco.
Yeah, it's a really even matchup. You know, you probably give them the edge now. I know Vegas is giving them the edge, but when you think about it, it's not. The Lions can hang with them, and it's going to come down to a timely play, a timely stop, an interception, a fumble. Man, I just love that. CD Deuce talked and he walked the walk. Like that just says so much at the beginning of that game. Like that's a bigger play than it even was.
Before we go to a break, CD Deuce, first of all, him getting the interception, running up to Baker, throwing Baker the ball,
epic,
is an all-time Detroit moment in my opinion. Like that was like that. I said before the game, I say turnovers. That's my thing. That turnover to get the crowd into the game and open up just the gates of dude, that changed everything.
Like you said, it set the tone.
It did.
And then it was coming off that 3 and out on offense. So, like you said, got the crowd right back into it, man. It was an epic play. You get 3
points off of it. I don't even care if you don't get a touchdown. You got some points, and on top of that, the crowd's into it. And at that point, there was no looking back from the Bucks. When we come back, though, Broder and I, we're going to give out our game balls. Game Kool-Aid pitchers, we'll call it.
Kool-Aid pitchers.
We're giving that out to a player. We each have one player on offense, one player on defense. But let me tell you guys, about Big Boy. Wintertime in Detroit, it is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. How about some breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes, they are back. They are back. The classic lumberjack or the Santa Fe Garden. You can also try the new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with the gingerbread shake for dessert. Stop over by your local Big Boy today.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and you offer more products to more people. That's what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They have the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. Located on Woodward Ave just south of 9 Mile, or you can check them out in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at www.lesstanford.com.
World Wide Web.
Shout out Les Stanford, baby. All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Lions, baby.
Lions, baby.
That sounds wild. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you haven't already. I don't know how many likes we're at. Let's get the likes up. We've got a lot of people here tuning in.
74.
74. All right, let's get to 150 here. Let's get to 150 before the end of the first hour. We're getting into our game balls, though. We call them on here the Kool-Aid pitchers. But basically our game balls here. We're going to do offense here first, Broder. We each brought an offense and defense player. You start here.
Okay, I'll start.
Who are you giving your game ball to on offense?
I'm going to the third leading rusher in the game for the Lions. Quarterback Jared Goff.
Not Craig Reynolds?
Goff. No, Craig Reynolds was one attempt, 1 yard, and 1 touchdown.
Shout
for
out
Craig
to
Reynolds.
Craig, man.
By the way,
huge play.
The call for Craig Reynolds, epic. So smart.
Yeah. Well, did you hear what they said? I thought it was like a tactic. He just said it was just like that was just our scheme. Like he was a part of that package. It had nothing to do with any. Dan said he was like I wish it had something to do with all of that, but he was like that was just the package we were running, and he was in that package.
It wasn't like they still did they call the run or did Jared Goff audible to it?
I think they called the run. I think it was the run. Like when Dan said it today, he was like. I know you guys want it to be something special, but it's literally just he was a part of that package all week in practice, and we ran that for that one play, and then that's just what happened.
On 4th down, right?
Yeah, that's what he said. And he was like, I wish it was something special, but
no, but maybe he doesn't think it's special, but to have Craig Reynolds come in on 4th, if I'm on defense, you know the one person I don't think is touching the ball that play?
Craig Reynolds.
Yeah. The only person, even Skipper.
It shows a lot, too, for like a guy like Craig. Like Dan, he said today, he was like, and if you guys are trying to ask if I trust Dan, he was like, I trust Craig.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I trust Craig Reynolds. So
remember them on Hard Knocks?
He was like, I didn't even second guess it. Like if he's in that package, like I trust him just like David Montgomery and Jameer.
Bang.
So
bang. Oh, Craig Reynolds. There we go. Honorable mention. Most important player. But no, offensive pitcher, I'm giving to Jared Goff. 30 for 43, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 287 yards. The first drive, that first series was really the only time of the game where like it really wasn't, nothing was really working. It's 3 quick plays. I think all 3 passes. No bueno. But Jared Goff, he had control of the offense. He was picking them apart. The Bucs defense in the first half, they were all over the Lions pass catchers, all the receivers, and Sam Laporta. He was fitting some balls into some tight. Halfway through that, he was putting the football in tight spaces, and his players were coming up with the catch. So we're going to talk more about him later in the show, some of his fourth quarter stats. But man, this was a Baker versus Goff. We thought was going to be the difference, and Goff was just a little bit better than Baker on this day.
He took care of the ball, and he made the plays when you needed.
Yeah.
That's like what it came down to.
Yeah.
And that's all you want in your quarterback. Like in the playoffs.
Don't
turn the ball over and get the ball to your guys. And
guess what's going to be the key next week, too? That.
And you know what, too? The pass he made to Amon-Ra, I said this yesterday, dude. The pass he made to Amon-Ra St. Brown in the fourth quarter for the touchdown was probably one of his best passes since he's been in the league.
Yeah.
That was right on this dot. It was a laser, perfect spiral, like right in the pocket. Like that was a great pass.
Where all that duck shit at now?
Yeah, yesterday he was throwing darts.
KG, you don't know how bad I want to troll back right now, but I'm not going to.
Wait.
No, there's nothing in there. I'm just saying, like,
hey, I'm ready. I'm ready for war.
Yeah, no.
I'm on. What is it? I'm on standby. I'm ready for war.
Booner, who do you think's your Honolulu Blue pitcher on offense?
I'm gonna go the rookie, man. I'm gonna go Jahmyr Gibbs. And KG, if you could throw a graphic up for me,
Yeah.
I was going to do it later. I want to do it now. The Lewis Riddick, Jahmyr Gibbs graphic. We can.
Yep.
I want to throw this out now because Jahmyr Gibbs, as a rookie in his second ever playoff game, 9 carries, 74 yards, 8.2 yards per carry, 4 catches, 40 yards, and a touchdown. This man is elite in his rookie year already. He is one of the best in the league at what he does. He showed it there. Lewis Riddick went on air today and said Jahmyr Gibbs can be better than Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, all of them. He is that good. As a rookie right now, he's being talked about with guys like that. He has had some games to where maybe his production wasn't there, but when he has a game like this, he is an absolute game changer. He is a game changer. I saw some people put out on Twitter that if the Detroit Lions drafted Jalen Carter over Jahmyr Gibbs, the Detroit Lions would not have won this game. They would not have won 2 games in the playoffs already because Jahmyr Gibbs made that much of an impact. That run he had for a touchdown, and then to just throw, first of all, to hit that little 1-2 on Antoine Winfield, outrun him. All pro on Antoine Winfield, outrun him to the end zone, and then slow down and stiff arm him and throw him through the end zone to score a touchdown. That is a rookie that's doing that to a vet. That is something you don't see every day. Jahmyr Gibbs is different. Yesterday, I think you won that football game because of a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs. That the explosive, him in the pass game, all of that, you won that game because of him, in my opinion.
He's a double vet because his dad was such a star player, so he's got just instincts in his blood. And Jahmyr Gibbs, he didn't make him look silly, but Jahmyr Gibbs looked like he belonged. He looked like one of the top running backs in the league. So I get that graphic from Riddick. I'm proud of that. What I'm not proud of is that play wasn't even on SportsCenter top 10, but Mike Evans' catch at the 1-yard line was. Anyways, on defense,
let him cook.
Let him cook. Do you know who I'm going with?
Who are you going with?
I'm going Mr. Iffy Melifonwu.
Shout out Iffy.
I'm going with Iffy. He tied for the lead in tackles with 9, 1.5 sacks. They were both huge. He had won a shared sack with Jalen Reeves-Maybin. I believe it was in the 4th quarter. Massive timing, massive sack. And then the one, I think it was the first one of the day, maybe not the first drive, but earlier in the game on Baker, huge momentum shift. That's the energy. When those happen, that's when the crowd erupts too. Iffy Melifonwu, add 2 QB hits, a tackle for loss. I think he deserves it. Maybe one step below this next guy who you're going to talk about.
Real quick, if he was at the Pistons game tonight with his agent, I don't know if you guys saw that.
I just saw that clip.
Mr.
Sean Stellato.
Come on, Mr. Cutlets.
They're in Detroit right now. So if you guys are around Detroit and want to go see Sean Stellato, go start heading downtown.
Iffy and Stellato might be the most exciting thing at LCA tonight.
Probably. Well, maybe Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Is he? They probably pulled him like 5 minutes
Him and
in.
Dame are both playing, which
not for long.
The best duo in the NBA. My defensive player of the game, though.
First drive.
Game ball I'm giving it to Brian Branch.
Yes.
I think he was the best defensive player on the field yesterday. I know he didn't get an interception or a turnover, nothing like that. 9 tackles, a sack, 2 tackles for a loss, a quarterback hit. He was everywhere. And I don't know if you guys caught Baker Mayfield this on Twitter. I should have clipped it and brought it in. Baker Mayfield, they asked him. They said, hey, what was the difference from last game to this game with that Detroit Lions defense? He didn't go anywhere else. The first person he thought of, he smiled actually. In the tweet I saw, it said that he blushed. But he smiled and he goes, that dude Brian Branch, he didn't play in the first game. He played in this game. That was the difference. He said Brian Branch is way better than people give him credit. He's a really good young player.
Second round pick.
And he dominated in that game. It felt like, do you remember earlier in the year when that Kansas City game when we were like, who is that on the tackle? 32. Who is that? 32. Who is that? 32. That's what it felt like yesterday, and he was back to where he was. Perfect time for that man to start heating up right now. Because next week, guess what? You're going up against one of the best offenses in the NFL. Brian Branch, he deserves a game ball from at least for me. That's who I'm giving it to. That man dominated yesterday. And we need him to dominate the next 2 games as well.
Yeah, I'm with you. It reminded me just like that Kansas City Chiefs game where we were all blown away at the house. We thought he was going to be special, but seeing him in that game took it up a notch.
The biggest stage, that man made the biggest plays, and he just kept doing it yesterday. When his name was called upon yesterday, he would go get a sack. QB hit, tackle for a loss. He was just making play after play after play. I think there was even another tackle for a loss that he had that got called back for offsides that wasn't on him.
In the locker room after, I think it was just that play that made him. He was talking about not even having a good game and that he needs to be better. I'm like, dude, You had yourself a game.
He's elite.
His closing speed is unreal.
Yeah.
And speaking of elite, Booner, that's where I'm going to go with this one. One of my Kool-Aid pitchers on the defensive side of the ball is going to go to Aiden Hutchinson.
Yes, sir.
He has been absolutely unstoppable. In the last 4 games, he's got 8 sacks, 10 tackle for losses, 18 quarterback hits. This dude has been everywhere. So great to see out of Hutchinson get home and get rewarded with some of those sacks. And on the offensive side of the ball, a Kool-Aid pitcher I wanted to give out, the all-pro rookie Sam Laporta, tight end of this team. 9 catches, 65 yards. He was there all day for Jared Goff to depend on. And he's as big to the offense as Brian Branch is to that defense.
Bro,
and on a bad knee.
If the Lions match
Right.
up with the Chiefs, which would be in the Super Bowl, Taylor Swift might be going home with a different tight end.
Uh-oh, watch out.
Oh, hey,
I'm saying Taylor Decker, that might be the most important Taylor in the stadium.
Do you guys remember earlier in the year when they were talking about the script?
Yeah.
Starting the year and ending
The
it.
script, but do you guys remember what's his name that did who's the guy from Detroit? I completely forgot.
Keegan Michael Key.
Yeah, he did it, and then in the video, in the commercial, he at the end of it, he was like, "Oh my gosh, like this one's gonna change, like blow up the world," or whatever he said. Detroit versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Heyo.
Taylor Swift, Dan Campbell.
I'll take whoever. Just get me there.
KG.
You want to give some pictures out?
Yeah, so my offensive Kool-Aid pitcher, you took mine, it was Goff, but I got to go with the next best thing, and that's Frank Ragnow, man. He gave his leg for us to get this victory, man, and he's been a dog all year. The guy plays on 9 toes. What bad can you say about him? He's been a dog ever since he's got here. He is literally the anchor of this offensive line. No offense to Panay, he's awesome, but Frank, his leadership and just the way he goes out there and handles that interior is you can't speak about it enough, man. So he gets my offensive pitcher. Defensive, I'm gonna give him his flowers. I know he didn't have the best game, but Derek Barnes, just because he stepped up in a big spot, man. Baker had been torching us all night. For him to come up with that pick at that time of the game is just absolutely epic, man. And I'm happy for him. He's one of the originals. He stuck here through the 3-13. He was in danger of possibly losing his spot, man. And he worked his ass off, and it paid off. He got his big moment. What a moment. And that play will go down in Lions history. He will forever be immortalized by that play. So shout out to him, man.
That wasn't just like, hey, you just threw it right to me. Like, he dove up. Like, he jumped up, dove out, and grabbed that thing. Like, made a play on the ball.
He normally not a good coverage linebacker. We've all, said that about him, but for him to make that play was just absolutely like incredible, man.
I have a shout out. There's a name I recognize in the chat. It's Mr. Adam Babcock.
Oh.
Who, if you guys, maybe that name doesn't sound familiar to you, there was a winner yesterday for our $5,000 giveaway, having to guess the final score of the
Crazy
game
to guess
and
that prediction.
the first touchdown scorer. Adam Babcock goes, sure. 31-23, first touchdown, Josh Reynolds.
Give me Josh Reynolds.
Mike, $5K on its way.
That is awesome.
That's so cool, man.
Insane.
I can't believe that.
Insane.
Think about Josh Reynolds. Who would have picked Josh Reynolds, and who would pick 31-23? Like, that's crazy.
Think
score,
about
man.
them going for 2 on that drive.
You guys remember my
my
score
God.
prediction?
No, it was
31-24.
Damn.
And they went for 2. Just kick the field goal. I'm locked in.
Yeah, I was 31-27, and I thought there was going to be another field goal
to get
after the extra point.
I've been like
Booner,
1 point off multiple times this year, and I just cannot hit it right on. I don't
He
know
had
what
to
it
have
is.
been so hyped when they missed that.
Oh,
one.
man.
Oh my God.
All right, let's go to break. When we come back, let's talk about kind of this thing with what's going on in Detroit here, America's team. Let's talk about it. Let's the change in the culture, change in America's team from the Dallas Cowboys to the Lions. Broder, tell us about Dispo, though.
I'll tell you about Dispo Dispensary, a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere. You know what? They're giving out 2 tickets plus hotel and flight accommodations to this year's Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Go on Dispo's Instagram right after the show at dispo.michigan, at dispo.michigan, and follow the directions in their pinned post or scan the QR code, and it will take you there. Let's get you sports fans. Let's get you Lions fans. Let's get you to Dispo. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hamlin Pub, baby. Have you ever wanted a bar where you are a regular? We have just the place for you. Head over to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on Thursdays or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games, Hamlin Pub, it is the place to be. Those wings right there, some of the best in the state. The best. Number 1. Detroit Lions, number 1. They are the best in the state. Check it out and visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports. All right, we are back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, wherever you're watching it on. Appreciate you. If you're on the YouTube, hit the like button right now. Let's get to 150 likes before the end of the first hour here, before we get to the second half of the show. Want to do this, though. Don't want to completely move off of this Bucs game because we're going to talk about it, obviously, throughout the whole game. But one of the big things that I think changed within this last win was the Detroit Lions and this organization's real. Like, this is like, okay, a lot of people question it going into the Rams game. Hey, is this real? Is this fake? And then when you win the Rams game, it's like, oh, they got the one playoff game out of the win. And then it's like, okay, can they – now you're in an NFC championship game. It's not like a joke anymore. You're not sitting there and you're like, hey, we're the joke of the league. We went 0-16. Yeah. It's legit. And with that being said, with the narrative that's been on the Detroit Lions during this run has been, are they America's team? And KG, can you throw up the newspaper graphic there?
This is epic, man. I want this framed.
This is it,
America,
fellas. The real America's team, the Detroit Lions.
Definitely ain't the Cowboys.
It is not the Cowboys. And I saw the stat that said, I think since 97 or since something like that, or whenever it was, the Detroit Lions have gone to more conference championship games than the Dallas Cowboys. And I think since like a certain point, the Detroit Lions now have won more playoff games than the Dallas Cowboys. It's changed, fellas.
Yeah.
It started with Dan Campbell bringing the grit culture, Broder, and like this whole new mentality, like all of that. It's not even like a culture, dude. It's like a mentality thing. Like these guys going into games like, hey, we're going to win every single football game. They're America's team. And I think every single fan base that their team's out of it, they're all like, hey, I want the Detroit Lions to go win it. Yeah. Screw the Chiefs. Screw the 49ers. Don't care about the Ravens. We want the Detroit Lions to go beat every one of those teams.
I can appreciate it phrased like that. And Terry's talked about this on Woodward and Maine a couple times, and I don't know if I've agreed or disagreed. I think I played Switzerland a little bit, but the more I think about it, I kind of just want them to ourselves. Like I want – they're so unique.
Yeah.
So to what you said, I'm totally cool, for this run, there are a lot of football fans out there root for us over the 49ers and the Ravens and the Chiefs. No problem at all. But to say it's America's team, I get why we're saying that. But they're totally Detroit's team. Like, they're so Detroit.
For sure.
Like, in every shape and form, every answer Dan Campbell gives on the podium, it validates it and more. He is Detroit. He's Texas, too.
That's
but
the bandwagon thing where it's like we don't want people on the bandwagon. But when you can become America's team and you can go win the Super Bowl and kind of make an imprint on the NFL, like the Cowboys, they've been America's team because they won all those Super Bowls in the, 80s and 90s, and then they just fell off. If you could become America's team and keep winning and keep winning and keep winning, like I don't mind fans. I don't want fans to be on the bandwagon. But when I'm walking around in a different city or something and wearing some Lions gear, and they're like, "Oh, like, dude, like, you're a Lions fan? Like, let's go!" Like, that's what America's team's all about. Is having other fan bases being like, "We respect them. Like, that's a respectable organization." That's something, dude, we've never had in Detroit. Like, it's always been like, hey, your guys' ownership's terrible. Your coach's staff's terrible. Your GM's terrible. Your whole regime's terrible. You don't have a quarterback. You don't have this.
The Silverdome's terrible.
Yeah, now it's like you can go walk around your America's team. You can go to any state you want, and then you wear Lions gear, and they're going to all be like, dude, hey, what you guys are doing is unbelievable. Like, we're rooting for you guys. Like, that's what America's team's all about, is like having the whole country behind you being like, hey, we're not going to hop on the bandwagon fully, but we are rooting for you guys to go out there and win, man. And that's like that feeling after going 0-16 and having the Quinn Trisha and all that, like now having that feeling is like, that's crazy.
I don't think you could explain it any better. I'm totally down with that.
Let's go.
Like for real. And to see, Nick, I'm coming right to you after.
You're good.
But to see, there have been even some articles written about, media's time in Detroit, or, visiting people just having an amazing time in the city, that everyone was all about the team and they were excited and energetic, but it was all, relatively friendly. There were no fights. I know Maz talked about that on the post-game show. Like, we didn't see any fights in the stands. They're out here for a football game for the city, and they left and they were celebrating. It wasn't like we've seen some of the other facilities. So that's cool to see. I think now it's time for ESPN and the national TV to give them some love and not just talk about Baker Mayfield's performance. But if they want to count them out, I'm okay with that. I just wanted to say, I woke up early to watch SportsCenter for the first time in a while. I get a top 10 with Mike Evans on it and not Jahmyr Gibbs.
Boo.
Yeah, that's BS right there. But they are 100% America's team, boys. Everybody can get behind these brand new Lions. It almost feels like a fairy tale, like underdog story, because we have been battered, bruised, and beat down, like Dan Campbell said in his opening press conference. To see where they started at 0-10-1. And then 1-7 or 2-6, whatever it was last year, to come and win 2 home playoff games at Ford Field, have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. They need one more win. This is 100% a storyline for the ages, and I think one that everybody in America is behind.
KG, what do you think? Are you on it? Are you with that?
No, I'm absolutely with that. The Lions are America's team, but there is something in this graphic that irks me a little bit, and it's kind of something that the national media has been doing for all season long. The lovable word. I'm sick of it. National media, stop that shit. This is not a cute story. This is not a lovable story. This is a real story. This is a real team. I'm sick of all these adjectives that kind of marginalize, how good we actually are. This team is in the Final Four. They are on the precipice of making the big game for the first time ever. Like, we have to be real, man. And it's been going on for a while. This ain't just a one-season wonder. We've seen this team rise up for the past couple seasons now, and this train is going to keep rolling. I'm sick of the lovable cute. It's not a cute story. If it was cute, I said it in the last hour, Stafford would have beat us. They would have sent us home, pack in, and have a good day. This is not that. These Lions are for real. They are here, and it might just be our time, ladies and gentlemen.
They've changed the narrative. Like, Dan Campbell and Brad, they've changed the narrative of what the Detroit Lions are. Yeah. Like, completely. And there's just been so many regimes that have come in and haven't been able to do it. They came in and did it in 3 years. And I'm going to keep going back to the well on this. Like, this isn't just like a this year thing. Like, they've changed the narrative for a few years to go. That's why the Booner path is like, hey, this is a 4, 5 year, 6 year. Like, this is going to be a team like the 49ers going forward. I did want to bring up, like, the mentality of these guys being America's team. Like, Jared Goff, in his press conference after the game yesterday, he came out and said, we expected, but we didn't just like say, hey, we expected to win these 2 games. And now we're playing San Francisco, one of the best teams in the league. We're going in expecting to win this game.
Oh, yeah.
They're a touchdown underdog. And to have that mentality that, hey, we're actually the favorite. We should be the favorite. We're expecting to win this football game. Dan Campbell going in and doing that every single time, that's exactly like having that mentality and him putting that into guys like Jared Goff's head, all of these new rookies and all of that. KG, did you have something to throw up there?
No, did you want to play the Goff video?
Oh, yeah. If we have that. Yeah, I forgot I put that in there. Yeah, let's play that. Let's see what Jared Goff, this is him after the game yesterday.
It's a credit to all the guys in there. We've said this a million times about how it's the same group. It's not like we've added a ton. It's a lot of the same guys, and Brad and Dan have been very intentional about bringing in those type of guys who can handle moments like today and moments like last week and ups and downs of a season. And I think it's all been intentionally done by them, and we're not here by accident.
That's my quarterback.
Yeah, and like he said, it's not by accident, man.
I have a conspiracy for you guys.
Okay.
Brought to you by Mr. Lunchbox Hooligans. He caught me by surprise with this one. If you're into conspiracy with NFL, could it be a message for the Lions if you add up both their totals from the last 2 games, scoring both playoff games, which is 55? Look what Super Bowl 55 was against.
Who was it?
Isn't that what the Super Bowl is?
Is it 55?
I think so. Unless I misunderstood this and I just ruined this conspiracy.
I'm not sure. I'm not really good with Roman numerals.
Yeah,
so
me neither.
If you gave it to me, I would be like, I had no clue. I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll move on. Those Roman numerals, though, I see a graphic going around.
Yes.
It looks like Belleville. Like, I thought it's like a... Like,
did you see the conspiracy for the graphics?
Oh, the purple and the red.
Yeah, and it's like 3 straight years now, and then it's been the same teams that have gone, and the bottom teams always won. And the Lions aren't. It's not blue.
I don't know if y'all saw it. They changed it.
I did see an alternate one.
Yeah, there's a blue graphic now.
There's an alternate one. They came out with like an alternate for I can't remember why they did, but they came out with the secondary
For
one.
this reason.
Yeah, maybe they were like, you guys messed up on the logo. In
Yeah.
our script, we have the Detroit Lions winning the Super Bowl. You guys messed this one up. We need an alternate now.
Get it together, Roger.
Does San Francisco have any big
It's 58. Big
musician?
said 58.
Oh.
58, man.
Interesting. I got to reread what Lunchbox Hooligans has something. He's usually spot on. I gotta think about this in the break.
Yeah, let's go to break. When we come back, this is where we're going to talk a little bit about this offense in the fourth quarter, and as well as too, I do want to. I know you texted me about it. It's about a couple things when it comes to Jared or Aaron Glenn and kind of that defense. They stepped up big time.
Hell yeah, they
I know
did.
they gave up a lot of yards, but I think Broder, tell us about Jack Labrador. Though.
I will. RIP to the same old Lions. You know that's happening. Big thanks to Sheila, Brad, and Dan Campbell, and Spielman, and Disner, Rod Wood, the whole crew, Agnew, everybody. Thanks for putting them to rest. You know what else is found in the grave? Rock, paper, scissors. It's done. Jack Labrador has revolutionized that tired game that they used to start XFL games with, using 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. Discover the action at jacklabrador.gg now and find out why. Once you go Jack, you never go back.
Coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Do you have football on the brain? This is football time in Detroit. Yeah, that's right. January 22nd. We're talking NFC Championship here in Detroit. It's the perfect time to talk football. It's also the perfect time to shop for your home and auto insurance. So shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover us here at Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. So ask for Mark today at 248-800-4177 or go to SwissINS.com.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on
That's
the
us.
Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Make sure if you guys haven't yet, we're heading into the second hour. Hit the like button. Let's get over 150 likes here at the start of the second hour.
Hour number two.
Appreciate you guys tuning in.
If you haven't liked the stream, what the hell are you doing?
I was like, I swear I heard the music go down, and I'm like, Nick's setting up for some sort of soundbite.
You're starting to
I'm learning.
This is show
3 months in. I'm learning.
Show 90, literally 3 months.
3 months
show
in.
90. Starting to get to know each other a little
Let's
bit.
go, boys.
All right,
Show
who's a couple
90s.
90s? You're a historian. Who's a couple 90s?
Sergei Fedorov was 91.
Okay. Who 90 though?
Joe Valeno.
Valeno.
Okay.
Ndamukong Suh.
Hey.
All right.
Oh.
Who else is 90? One more.
Detroit.
Someone give me a 90. I'll give
Detroit?
Me, yep. Any Detroit 90. Is there another one?
Jameis Williams is 9, and Gilbert Arenas is 0.
Nope. Doesn't count.
Gilbert Arenas don't like Detroit anyway.
I know. You're right. That's a bad one.
Yeah, Gilbert Arenas.
90 shows, though. Let's
Trey
go.
Burke?
What a magical run it's been.
Is Trey Burke 30?
Let's go.
You know, we started 2 days before the Lions season.
September 5th, baby.
I think that's the only. I mean, what's different about this year than last year or the last 50 years?
Someone in the chat,
There's
can't
a night
remember who
show.
it was, did say in the chat, said, since the Booner path has been created, the Detroit Lions have been dominating the postseason. And they won a division. And they won playoff games.
Since the winter path, they've never lost in the playoffs.
Never lost.
Can't win.
They
Like
haven't
somebody I know, right?
They haven't missed it. Booner. Never
Yeah.
lost.
Man never lost.
Never lost. Ask Easy. 2-0. All right, let's get into this here. I want to talk about two things in this segment here. I want to start with this Jared Goff fourth quarter thing and this offense in the fourth quarter because it feels like they've struggled in the third at some points, but the fourth quarter they have stepped up. And there was the Up and Adams show. I want to give credit to this graphic here. And Kay Adams saw this on Twitter floating around.
Wow.
Since week 10, including the playoffs. So what is that? Because it goes to 18 weeks technically, 10 or 11. 8 weeks plus 2 weeks in the playoffs. Over 10 weeks of football. In the fourth quarter, Jared Goff ranks first in passing yards per game and 92.7 in the fourth quarter. First in completion percentage, basically 74%. First in passing touchdowns was 7, and first in passer rating, 113.7.
Have mercy.
That's crazy.
And that includes the 3 of the 5 losses in that stretch.
That is in the fourth quarter, and that is your quarterback. First in almost every statistical quarterback category that there is for a quarterback, and he is leading the NFL in all of them in the fourth quarter.
What more do you want?
That is exactly what you want out of your quarterback. When it comes to crunch time, to go win football games, especially in the playoffs, dominate in the fourth quarter. First in every category.
What more do you want? You couldn't ask for anything more. It started with that Bears game, and he had a great season before that, but the first ugly Bears game at Ford Field, where the Bears dominated that game for the most part, but Jared Goff and that offense, I think it was 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, just started to cook, ran off 2 touchdowns, won the game. Aiden Hutchinson kicks the ball into the stands. I don't know what more you could ask for out of your quarterback. We're not talking contract. We're not talking money. We're talking who you want leading this team at the end of a game. It's now 2 teams in a row he's brought back from 10-year playoff droughts, led them to the playoffs, led one of them to the Super Bowl. He's en route to lead another one. That is the goal. And we all know they got a shot. They got a really good shot. This season is far from over.
And the best part about it, too, it's like him doing that. It's like everything's getting around him right now. Like the players trust him. The offense trusts him. Ben Johnson's, he trusts him in the fourth quarter to make these throws, to put you in positions to kind of go out there and succeed. He trusts it.
I just want to throw that up.
Look at that.
Bang!
Too. The longest active streak, conference championship appearance, droughts. Detroit Lions. Cross them off the list, fellas.
Who's on the bottom there? 95?
Oh, that might be the former American
SOC,
team.
same old Cowboys.
Same old Cowboys, baby. I love that. SOC, I love that.
But it's true. Like, what more do you want, man?
Yeah, I saw a crazy stat somewhere. It was the one of 3 quarterbacks to get to 13 wins, including the playoffs. So for 2 separate teams, it was him, Brady, and Peyton Manning. That's insane.
That's crazy.
Wow. Those 2, other than Goff, they don't have the biggest arms in the world, but they knew how to manage a team, manage an offense, lead a
It's
team.
just about winning football games. I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to say that forever going forward. It's like, hey, if you can win football games and you can get a team with you to win football games, that's all that matters when it comes December and January. Go look at Jared Goff's record and Dan Campbell's record the last 3 years in December and January. I think someone put it in the chat the other day. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Chat, what is it?
It's I don't know what it is. I can look it up real quick for us, but it is something that you will be shocked by. You'll be shocked by.
Oh, it's huge.
I'm going to look it up.
It's huge. And you could probably name 100 quarterbacks who play in the NFL who are more talented than Tom Brady. And probably Peyton Manning and Jared Goff, too. But Tom Brady we think of as the greatest of all time. We don't go back and we pick apart every little thing. He led his team, multiple teams, to Super Bowls, and lots of them. That's the goal of a quarterback. That's the goal of a team.
Yeah.
And your quarterback is the most important player on a team.
If you're ever in the same breath as Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, you are doing something right, no doubt. Shout out Jared Goff. He is the leader of this team, undeniably.
Do you guys want, in Jared Goff, his tenure in Detroit, the last 3 seasons, even when they started 0-10-1, does anyone want to guess how many wins they've had in December and January in his 3 seasons in Detroit? Him and Dan Campbell. Like
3 seasons, December and January?
December and January.
I'm guessing like an 85% win.
How many?
Clip.
Because that's the first year. That's the first year as well.
I'm gonna go like 13-4.
14-4.
Wow.
Damn.
14-4 in December and January under Dan Campbell. Since Dan Campbell's taken over the Detroit Lions, the final 2 months of the season, December and January, they're 14-4. If that doesn't give you confidence, even this Sunday and going forward, going the next few years with Dan Campbell and Jared Goff, I don't know what else will.
The Lions are just getting started.
I don't know what else. I don't know.
I subscribe to the fact that they're a year early. Like, this was a year they were supposed to be 10-8. You know, like maybe make the playoffs, win the division, like maybe challenge some teams. No. They're one of the best teams in the NFL, and they're just getting started.
Over/under was at 9.5 to start the year, if you remember.
You're right.
So we are completely surpassing these
I mean,
expectations.
They hit 12, and then with the playoff games, you get 14.
14, yeah.
Like, that's just they've shattered those.
Eduardo O'Neal 10-0 at home under Dan Campbell in December and January.
Even crazier.
That's a home field advantage. That's partly to them. That's a lot to do with that crowd too. Also, man, the goal is to play your best.
Paul Thomas, we really didn't lose to the Cowboys either, so you could say 15-3.
He said it. Yeah. He said it. Yeah. This is the time. I think it's Neil who says this. You just got to get into the tournament. And you talk college basketball, which we don't talk of a lot anymore. College basketball is slowly dying, kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get into it once the season ends in a couple weeks.
Yeah, typically that's something I'm really into, and I have not watched because of this.
Actually, quick pause. When I say college basketball, what's the first name? What's the first player that comes to mind?
Well, just because just a second ago you said Trey Burke, so I'm just going to go Trey Burke.
Okay, but think for 2 more seconds. And which is it?
Zion?
No, like currently playing.
Hunter Dickinson.
Okay.
Kansas.
Yuck.
Right?
Doug McDaniel.
Do any of you think Caitlin Clark?
No.
No, but we should.
I mean,
we should.
If we would have said women's for sure.
Yeah, if you said women's, I'd say Caitlin Clark.
You tell me college basketball, I'm thinking Caitlin Clark right now.
No
and
doubt,
that's just my reaction. I want to see if any of you guys got it.
No.
It's wild. It's wild. But, D-Mac said that. Thanks, Just a Fan. No.
Shout out D-Mac.
In the tournament, you want to be playing your best basketball going into the end of your season, whether it's March Madness, the Booner path to the Super Bowl. You want to be clicking on all cylinders. And when I look at the defense is playing their best football of the season. The offense is too, but the defense has been on a steady incline for the last couple weeks, and I think played their best game. I got to think a little more before you hold me to it, but I think it might have been their best game against the Bucs.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that people I think you could say negatively about it was the Mike Evans thing. Like, given that.
Well, right.
And I think that's it.
Which we knew it would happen.
Yeah, we kind of expected that.
And I think outside of that, and in KG, I'm kind of ready to almost kill the narrative. Actually, I don't want to do it because the run right now that's happening, because I want to, like, that bend break thing. Like, that has been, like, you're giving up a ton of yards, and you're in the playoffs. You're going to give up some points.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. Like, Mike Evans was the only one. If every team, like, if you play the 49ers this week and just George Kittle goes off on you, you're going to win the football game. And that's what it's been every single week. It's just one guy goes off, you're going to win the football game because they're not getting into their offense. They're just one guy. It's one guy. KG?
Yeah, I said it in the last hour. That's the adjustment that AG has made. He's pretty much said, hey, we're going to give up yards. That is what it is, man. But we need to be good in the red zone. And I'm also going to scheme this defense up to take chances. And that's what they do. They take chances, try to put themselves in positions to get turnovers and to get sacks and to get home.
And dude, this is the thing I said it on the post game yesterday. It's you have this full field and you don't have the best corners at all, right? And you're going up against some of the best receivers in the NFL. When you have a full field and they're going 75 yards, they have so much room to work with. But when you shorten that field down to 20 yards and you're in the red zone, That Detroit Lions defense, those packages that AG is drawing up, those blitz packages, his creativeness, what he's been doing in the red zone, that is where teams have been struggling to get to punch the ball in. And that's where the Detroit Lions defense has been just elite the last 2 or 3 weeks, is stopping teams in the red zone, not letting one, go ahead, get those big plays. Think about Dallas. Think about the stops that they got in Dallas. Outside of the 90-yard touchdown from CeeDee Lamb, Detroit Lions didn't give much up. They kept giving the big plays up, and they would stop them at the end. And it was a field goal, or it was the fumble for the touchback, or it was like they just kept finding ways to get it done. And AG, dude, he's been so elite at putting those together in the red zone and forcing field goals like that. Bend, don't break. Like, go ahead, man. You can go 60 yards down on us. As soon as we get in the red zone, you're not getting anything. Because your corners, it helps your corner. The end zone is basically another out of bounds, and it helps your corners out a lot.
Yeah,
and that's just what it's been. And that's how I feel about that one.
And if you think about a key corner piece for this team that nobody expected is Ife Melifonwu.
Absolutely,
he has been an absolute stud for this defense, and now we can look to him to be a key part of this defense for many years to come. Think about another Brad Holmes checkmark on his list of drafting players.
Dude, if he got healthy, he is good. I want to pull this up real quick, too. And I know we actually, in Broder, you can go real quick while I pull this up.
No, yeah, pull it up. I was just going to say, I was surprised at how bad the Lions were in the red zone earlier in the season, because this is what we were talking about. I remember, I forget which show it was, but during training camp, their red zone defense, it blew me away how good they were. And it focused around both CeeDee Dew, CJ Gardner-Johnson, and Brian Branch, and how they're able to control the flats. I had never seen anyone like CJ Gardner-Johnson be able to attack the right angles to either break up a pass or to make a huge tackle on the 1 or 2 yard line to keep a running back. A lot of times it was David Montgomery or Sam Laporta out of the end zone in training camp. When they can condense that field and not have so much space, they're very, very good. And in the playoffs, you hold teams to field goals or force field goals on them, you win, especially when Dan Campbell's your head coach and you're playing 4-down football on offense.
I was trying to find the graphic, and I know we're going to have a segment. I don't know if we're going to do it this week or we should do it at the end of the season. When you text me today, I'm like, that might be an end-of-season segment, but kind of looking at the different draft classes, like, hey, which draft, if you had to pick one, what are you taking? To me, that might be like an off-season thing.
Okay.
We need to start making a list of off-season topics, because
checking it twice.
Off-season does get, we haven't had an off-season show yet, so we do have to start looking ahead on that.
The draft's going to sneak up.
It will.
Usually we have 2-3 months.
But if we start making a nice little list, we're going to be good. But this real quick, guys, 2021 NFL draft. Detroit Lions. Penei Sewell.
Dog.
Check.
Aleem McNeil.
Dog.
Check.
Ife Melifonwu.
Dog.
Check.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Dog.
Dude, star.
Derek Barnes, who just clinched an NFC champion,
Solid.
or to go to the NFC championship.
Getting better.
And then obviously in the second round there was Levi Onwuzurike, who has been playing. I wouldn't say, but he maybe for a second round pick, yes, but he's still out in the field playing and contributing right now. And then Jamar Jefferson, obviously he was a 7th round pick, but you got to think about that. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks. This is Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell's first draft. 7 picks. 5 of those guys are starters and big, not just players, big time players for a Super Bowl contending team right now.
2 All-Pros.
2 All-Pros. Derek Barnes just clinched to go to the NFC Championship game.
Aleem's getting there. Leader on that D tackle.
He was like what was that stat? The first
with
DB
1.5 sacks in a playoff game
since 2015 or something.
Yeah.
Nuts, man.
And Jamar Jefferson's still on the roster. He's still a key piece of that practice squad.
I'm telling you guys, Brad Holmes, if you think this thing's done, man,
it's just getting started.
The Booner path is just getting started, baby.
Oh, when we come back, there's a draft. We're not going to talk draft, but there's something important that we need to discuss. It'll take 1 minute, but it's hard not to say it right now. But come on back.
I do have a request for people for the NFL draft too. I would like to put a request in for the people. I don't ask for favors much. This is going to be a favor.
You want to announce the 32nd pick?
I want to announce a pick in the NFL draft.
Hell yeah.
I want to go up there and drink the Kool-Aid on the
Start
stage.
the petition right now.
And I think we can get the people behind it to where it's like Booner needs to drink the Kool-Aid on the stage. I don't care what pick it is. I don't care.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's at least get you for at least the third.
But if it would be a failed draft if I don't get to chug the Kool-Aid on the stage.
Roger going to look at you crazy.
Do you guys think we're going to do shows down there?
Yeah, there will probably be some stuff.
Stage.
I have a joke.
I'm trying to be doing some interviews in that
All right,
crowd.
let's hit break, baby. Let me tell you guys about Planet Fitness. It is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. Over at Planet Fitness, you will experience squeaky clean gyms that has tons of equipment, full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. Get all of that for just $10 a month. No commitment, no matter where you are. There's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in the Metro Detroit area and thousands throughout the world. Planet Fitness, fellas, where your fitness is essential.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Give your pets the best. Right now, that means going to Premier Pet Supplies. They got 60 brands of food, nutrition experts to help you. You know what? They are locally owned and operated and have been for over 30 years. You got to go check them out right meow. They got so many things that whether you have a dog, cat, iguana, bird, iguana. Did I say iguana already?
Yeah.
They got everything. Check them out, premierpetsupply.com.
Good job.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network.
What?
I just saw J Bell 310 said Caitlin Clark tackles better than Antoine Winfield Jr.
Oh.
Did you see her take out the girl?
Yeah, and she got like injured
that
too.
was
The
bad.
girl like was running on the floor and they both like ran into each other and both fell.
By the way, shout out J Bell for becoming a member of the Woodward crew.
Shout out J Bell
Welcome to the
310.
crew.
Let's go.
Welcome in though, Woodward Nights. Everyone hit that like button if you guys haven't already. Let's get it. I don't know, where are we at right now, KG?
We are at 140.
Let's get over 175 by the end of this
If you
segment.
haven't liked the stream, what the hell are you
wanted
doing?
to look ahead to kind of Sunday just a little bit. Wanted to get a feel. Oh, you
Can I
did
just
want
real
a minute.
quick?
You wanted a minute. Yep.
Real quick.
Take
so
it.
you know how we've been talking about the OCs are likely going to be head coaches.
Yeah.
So
You
and
got-
this what? Maz shared this.
Ooh. Breaking news.
If we lose Ben Johnson,
Breaking news.
the Lions are compensated with a 3rd-round conditional pick.
Did hear that.
For losing Ben Johnson?
Yeah, if Ben Johnson becomes the head coach with another team.
I
And
have
Same
never
way
heard
G
that.
too, right?
Wait.
Okay.
whoa, sorry, brother.
If Aaron Glenn becomes the head coach with another team, you get 2 3rd-round conditional picks.
So you can get 3 total.
You can get 3 total, and you want to take it a step further. I don't think he's going to go, but he's been getting some interest. Ray Agnew, the associate GM. Disner's the COO. Ray Agnew's the associate. If he leaves and gets a job with another team, I believe as a GM, which would be the move that he would make, it's a 4th-round pick.
No way.
So
why are you
there's
going for
Don't
Ben?
let
a
Brad
little
Holmes get that
positivity.
ammo.
Yeah, the 3rd-round picks are
3
Valuable, yeah.
Which I will say this too. I believe Aaron Glenn's going to
Trade
get a head coaching job. I don't know if you guys have noticed though. If you watch press conferences and you watch these players in their interviews, you can kind of start telling. You could tell when they're like pushing for a coach to get a head coaching job. Did I put the Jared Goff thing in Slack actually?
Which one?
Jared Goff on AG.
Yeah,
Yes.
I got you.
Jared Goff, like when you start seeing things like this is when you start getting that confidence that a guy like AG will have a head coaching job, whether it's this year or next year. He will not be in Detroit long. Jared Goff, just hear this. This is awesome. I think.
I'll finish with this too, and I didn't get the answer to say it, but I want to give a lot of credit to Aaron Glenn tonight. And I know you guys didn't ask me about our defense, but our defense played their tails off, and he deserves a ton of credit for what he's done these last handful of weeks.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
I love the walk off. That's gangster right there.
Right, he didn't have any more questions. He stopped and he said, "Before I leave, I want to give credit to Aaron Glenn and what AG's been doing." That right there shows a guy like AG is going to be a head coach next year. Mm-hmm. That right there, when your quarterback, like, he's not even in the same rooms as him. He's in different rooms, different meetings. When he's going out and saying, "Hey, AG, he's doing a hell of a job," like, that's when you know, like, hey, you got some coordinators that are out there kind of.
The second time it's happened too. Ben Johnson did it a couple weeks ago when he was being asked. He's like, "Guys, you need to be asking Aaron Glenn this question." It's special how connected this team is.
They're kind of advocating for him. That's what I kind of look at that like.
Yeah.
Hey, like, you guys need to start getting him some looks.
Media and fans, we're way more worried about them leaving than the players are. They want that. That's what's so special about this Detroit team. They want these coaches and their teammates to reach their dreams, as corny as that sounds. And like, a lot of these guys, they want to be head coaches or they want to move up the ranks of coordinators. Detroit's a place that supports it. So that's part of the reason they're going to continue to get not just talent, playing talent, but coaching talent, young, up and coming, innovative coaching talent. That should be exciting.
And as much as I understand Dan, when he came in, he didn't get like the OC right away. But he has proven that he knows how to get the right guys. He has 2 coordinators. How many times does an NFL team have both of their coordinators get into that next point to where they can get a head coaching job in the same offseason? Like, it does happen, but it's like those are the great football teams that it happens to.
Yeah,
those are the good teams.
Although it didn't work out for them the next year, the last team it happened to was in the Super Bowl. So that means something means something very, very strong.
Yeah, I don't like that actually. No, but I
no,
trust
it's different.
Dan. I trust Dan.
Yeah,
I trust Dan.
Not that I know much about the Eagles' culture. You can be confident that Dan Campbell, this team is not gonna. I'm not gonna say it won't take a step back or a half a step back. I do think Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson are that good, but they're not going to regress to a point where it's this Eagles flop at the end of the season. They'll be fine. They'll be okay.
And two, I wanted to bring this up because with this segment, we were going to get into the 49ers game. We do have 5 minutes left. So I want to kind of get like everyone around the room.
Yeah.
Initial feeling. Today is like everyone got to sleep, wake up 24 hours later about this 49ers game. I did see someone, I can't remember what show it was on, but someone mentioned that Stephen A actually came. I think it was the Heavies actually talked about it. But they said that Stephen A said if Debo ends up not playing Sunday, that he's going to pick the Lions to win. So like and I know we're on that kind of we don't want people on the hype train. But just seeing that people are confident, especially guys like Stephen A., as much as we go at him, he is right. Like, he knows what he's doing. So sometimes, but like, like some of these guys
calling him fraudulent a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but he also did put the Lions in his top 5 Super Bowl contending a couple weeks ago. Some of these guys,
he flip flopping, but he coming back. Shout out Stephen A. No disrespect.
Him, if he takes the Lions, like that shows right there that national media. And at the same time, I'm guessing the public's going to be like, oh, there's no way the 49ers are going to.
That's what everyone thinks.
You're a 7-point underdog. I want to take Dan Campbell as a 7-point underdog all day.
Yeah.
I will take Dan Campbell as a 7-point underdog all day. I think they can go win this football game. I heard someone else talk about it too. Like, if you break down these matchups, man, player for player, receiver versus receiver, or like receivers on the teams versus DB. Like, if you break down the matchups, are like Christian McCaffrey, great, best in the game. You have D-Mont and Jameer. Brock Purdy, give me Jared Goff. George Kittle, Sam Laporta, and now you have Zach Ertz. Offensive line, give me the Detroit Lions offensive line. Linebacker room, they have Fred Warner. You have a very underrated.
I'm taking the 49ers.
Yes, but they're like, if you just go group
it's
by
not
group,
far,
player by player, the Detroit Lions can compete with this team, and they will have a chance to win the football game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Detroit Lions offense, and I would probably take the San Francisco 49ers defense, but both sides. The Lions aren't that much ahead of the 49ers on offense. They aren't that much behind the 49ers on defense. It might come down to special teams. Look at old Jake Moody. We might be seeing Moody again, but our special teams has been playing. Jack Fox has been a huge piece to this playoff run. They got it, and I don't remember the exact stat, but I think Kyle Shanahan's like 1-31 in the last, maybe in his career as a head coach, trailing in the fourth quarter.
Is that the Packers game the only one that he's won?
I think so. Was he trailing in that game?
They were losing going into the fourth quarter. They had like the Packers had like an 80% chance to win.
That might be it. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong, or if you know the right stat, but it's something like that, like 1-30 something.
And Eric Burrow said national media flips so much. They do. That's the thing. Like, I understand. I'm bringing that up. Yeah, like I'm bringing that up. They do flip a lot.
Yeah, and we are in a local market. Like we are
Dude, there are people in this city that flip flop too. Like I'm just gonna throw. Like I had that rant earlier a couple weeks ago when the Rams came to town, and a lot of national media was picking the Rams. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about and the place I'm talking about, and a lot of them taking the Rams. And it's like, hey, if you're gonna flip flop back and forth, like, you could say all you want. You're breaking down the game. You're looking at the game. Detroit Lions are a better football team than the Rams. They're a better football team than the Bucs. They were favored for a reason. They were going to win that game for a reason. Going to this 49ers game, I bet you a lot of those people are going to go right back to the 49ers and say the 49ers this week.
Of course.
Go ahead and do that. Because if Dan Campbell is an underdog, that is the scariest thing in the NFL.
How many minutes have the Lions been trailing in the fourth quarter in the playoffs in the last?
I don't think the Lions have trailed in the playoffs at all this year.
Haven't.
I don't think they've been.
Or in the.
I don't think they've been trailing in a game at all.
They have actually the Purple Prince. The Lions have not trailed in the playoffs yet. Let's go. And confirmed by
win the
Biggins.
toss, receive the ball, go score a touchdown, get a stop, go up 14-0 versus the San Francisco 49ers, and dominate that game and finish it out and go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, make that team pass heavy. I think my first read on this game is obviously stopping one of the best players in the league in Christian McCaffrey, which we've been pretty good, but we have to watch out for him catching the ball out of the backfield. And then on the other side, we need to block for Jared Goff. That left guard spot does scare me going into this game. Hopefully, could you say his name again, Broder? How do you pronounce the left guard's name?
Halapulavati Vaitai?
No.
Jonah Jackson?
No, the other one.
Oh, Yodi. Coyote Awasika.
Coyote. Hopefully Yodi has the biggest game of his career, because if we allow pressure up the middle, we are going to be in trouble. But I'm stoked, not scared, baby. Let's go.
Stoked, not scared.
Hey, think about some of these matchups.
Stoked, not scared.
Detroit Lions have the second or third best rush defense in the NFL. They haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher. That's perfect. What do you need to stop on this team? Christian McCaffrey, one of the best rushing games in the NFL. You have one of the best rushing defenses in the NFL. You can go in there and stop him. Number two, guess what? Opposite sides of the ball. Nick Bosa, right? Guess who's going up against Nick Bosa?
Penei.
The best offensive lineman in the NFL, Penei Sewell. That matchup, when you look at their best player on offense and their best player on defense, you have something to kind of cancel that out. Or potentially, if you're playing at your best, Penei versus Nick Bosa, give me Penei Sewell. I don't care who Nick Bosa is. Nick Bosa hasn't had the year that he's had in the past. Give me Penei Sewell all day long. He's the best in the game right now. Go look at the pressures that he's given up in quarterback hits and sacks versus some of the best in the league.
Yeah.
He's dominated. And then on the other side of the ball, we haven't given up a 100-yard rusher all season long. I don't care who we've gone up against. Christian McCaffrey, you're going to have a chance to go in there and stop the run. Make them beat you with George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, those guys. If Debo plays.
That's the key matchup right there. So is our rush D against CMC.
Yep.
Speaking of Kittle, what's your guys' first thoughts on that matchup? Because we saw and cook us.
I'm convinced it's one of those things that Kittle's going to be like the Mike Evans, the Puka Nacua, the CeeDee Lamb. He's going to get his, I feel like, on Sunday, and that's fine with us. As long as Christian McCaffrey doesn't, and if Debo doesn't play, you're in a perfect. Like if Debo doesn't play, you're in a great spot. Because then, and I know you had kind of a quiet like X factor of that game,
Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, but
he's such a good route runner. I worry about him more than Debo, especially with Debo being hurt, but also the tight end position that has not just Cade Otton, but I think back all the way back to the Seattle game in week 2. Tight ends have occasionally killed the Lions, which is surprising with Anzalone's coverage skills. Not that he's always covering every tight end. He's probably not, but yeah, real quick to go back to Christian McCaffrey, I got to double check everything, but I think 3 of their 4 losses, he's been held under 55 yards rushing. I think he had over 100 against the Ravens, but when the other teams have beat them, they've contained C-Mac and made them one-dimensional, made Brock Purdy beat them. And in many of those games, Brock Purdy struggled and threw a couple interceptions. He can do that. When they've missed pieces, whether Trent Williams has been out, Debo's been out, if there's one piece to that offense, Brock Purdy hasn't picked up the slack in those moments. That's when they've lost. Yeah. So if Debo's injured, hey. Although I want to see CD Deuce, Debo a little battle. They were chirping, remember, at the beginning of the season?
They were going at it.
I love it. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, let's hit break. When we do come back, we're going to talk about the rookies a little bit.
Talk about it.
The rookies, they had themselves a game on Sunday.
Flower time.
And Brad Holmes, what he's done. I know we talked about 2021. No, we're talking about the rookies now, 2023 class. Let me tell you guys, though, about his defense here. that Brad Holmes has built up. That is Guardian Alarm, customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions that are specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. That is technology backed by people, where your safety and security deserves technology has been proven to work and people have been proven to care. Fellas. For a great defense, that number above me right there, call it. What is it? 1-800
out. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
They call it Big Meat. Larry Hoover. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Just visit the beef shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go beef or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
All right, we are back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. We've got a full crew here. Broder, KG, Nick, our whole squad here.
Let's go.
We here.
Squad, baby.
Boys are
in the
buzzing
nighttime.
tonight.
NFC Championship Monday.
We got
Victory Monday.
322 people in the chat here supporting the Woodward Knights. Let's
Hit
go.
the like button,
Shout
too.
out the chat.
Thank you guys.
We do
really
appreciate it. If you guys
thank
are new to us too, man, we're here every single night, 8 to 10 p.m. We try to bring the energy at least.
We bring optimism.
Nick talks about the Red Wings once a show. You know, we talk about everything. We spread it around a little bit. But today it's Victory Monday.
Buzzing.
Got the glasses.
Yeah. The Kool-Aid.
All right. They're off now. Sorry, brother.
You got yourself, Broder.
Yeah, you got yourself.
Yeah, right.
Face card, never decline.
What's on the shirt there, brother? That's sick.
This is Invisible Friends.
I've seen that before.
It's a little brand, it's a little secret brand.
I want to talk about this, fellas, because just looking at Sunday's game.
Embiid dropped 70.
What is it?
Did Embiid drop 70?
Maybe.
out.
Joel Embiid.
Shout out Devin Booker, 70 piece. But with that, though, Sunday, the one thing that stood out to me a ton, guys, is this rookie class from 2023. Just how unbelievable they've been. And it feels like, to be honest, did he drop 70?
Yeah.
Your face over there.
Yeah.
Holy
70 and 18 rebounds.
From the center
Only shot
position?
only shot 2 3-pointers, too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Jeez,
I thought he was
man.
going to have like a 8-9 3-pointer
Who'd they play?
night game.
Shout out
Who'd
the
they play?
process.
That's like the... No, they played the Spurs.
They did it on Victor.
Yep. Welcome to the NBA, Victor.
Yeah.
Shout out Victor.
Victor's a rookie.
What a bust.
Rookie. He is a rookie.
Yeah, and rookies.
Shout out the rookies.
Shout out the rookies.
Nah, just with the rookies, I want to say this is what Brad Holmes did in this last class, guys. He got you a Super Bowl roster in this class, like draft class. And like, when do you ever see that? Typically, you see like Super Bowl teams add draft pieces to like, hey, like maybe not put you over the edge, but like let's add these pieces, like the Eagles getting Jalen Carter, like you know what I mean? Like he went out and drafted 3 guys. You could almost say like what, maybe just 3 guys, right? Jameer, Jack, Sam,
Branch,
4 of the guys then, because I think Jack is a pivotal piece of this as well.
Oh yeah,
he's improving,
and he's going to end up being really good in the next year or so. So I think Jack's there. You drafted guys that instantly put you into a contending list and instantly put you into a Super Bowl contender. You have one of the best running backs in the game out of that. And I think Brian Branch is on his way to being one of the best secondary guys, DBs in the NFL. Sam Laporta just won All-Pro, got second team All-Pro. He went out there and drafted Super Bowl caliber players in a year. not just one. Dude, he went out there and got 3 to 4 of them. It's insane what Brad Holmes did in this last draft. And, like, these guys made Sam Laporta 9 catches, 65 yards. Gibbs, 9 catches, 74 yards. Brian Branch, one of the best defensive players on the team with 9 tackles, a sack, 2 tackles for a loss. Jack Campbell, three tackles, and he was just in and out there. Derek Barnes obviously got more of the snaps that day. But, like, dude, right there, man. Like, what are we... It's unbelievable. I feel like we could talk about Brad Holmes all day long when it comes to this stuff.
We could. Remember at the beginning of the season when, and I'll admit to it, after a couple of games, we're like, man, why are they taking so long working Jahmyr Gibbs in? Why are they taking so long? Why aren't we seeing more snaps out of Jack Campbell? Even Brian Branch. Why are they going to go and just focus on nickel while we have C.J. Gardner-Johnson on the bench for a chunk of the season? Looking like pretty smart coaching decisions at this point. They just eased them along, got them mixed in perfectly, got them up to speed perfectly with the offense or the defense, got their teammates comfortable with them, got them just ready to be NFL players and NFL contributors, and we're reaping the benefits of it now in the playoffs. You think about Anzalone getting hurt in that Saints game and having to thrust Jack, and that was a big game in the season where to thrust Jack. Yeah, pause.
Every time you say something like that, KG, like it's like
my eyes get big.
Looks right over to me like,
he's got good ears.
What you doing?
Got ears.
Hey, I'm not judging. Just like to shoot straight.
All right.
Seriously, you know what I'm saying? Jack Campbell was thrust into game action, thrust into green dot action,
Thrusting everywhere,
and he's been green dot stable.
Shout out, good slider.
Shout out.
Yeah, no. KG?
No, you can go ahead first.
No, you're good. I already
All right, well, yeah.
gave my piece on that one.
I just, like Broder said, I just wanted to give a shout out to the coaching staff, man. The player development on this team is something that we haven't seen in so many years in Detroit. I was talking about it this morning. We've had so many, like, people that we've drafted that never made it to a second contract. And now you got the choreo team that are carrying you almost to a big game. You have them that doing that, and then they're on rookie deals still. So, man, I'm just excited for the future, bro, and what they can, produce.
Yeah, this is only the beginning, KG. That's why it's so much fun, and it's so exciting to think about the future. I mean, we're not going to be taken out of this moment because it's a once in our lifetimes right here moment that we are in right now. But looking ahead a little bit, these are 4 all-pro type guys. 100 or Pro Bowl type guys, borderline all pro, 100% in this draft. And you just think about, if you go through all of the Brad Holmes draft classes, he hits on elite talent every single time and core depth guys. So just Brad Holmes, I have 100% faith in this guy. Draft season is so much fun because we know these guys are going to turn into stars.
Yeah, and he's going to pick the guy he wants and not listen to whatever we speculate in mock drafts.
I was literally going to say that.
He's going to do the opposite.
Yes, like remember last year, if anyone, and you know what, I know you're lying. If anyone came out of that first day and was like, over, like, woo, like, let's go,
you're
man.
Lying.
We got the best. Like, you're lying. You're dead lying to me. Now, the next morning, I woke up and I started looking up some of these guys because the draft, the first day we had the event there, and I didn't get home till 4 in the morning, and then the next day you have to turn around, especially like in our business, and you're like, all right, you got to get going. I woke up in the morning early, woke up and started looking at these guys. I go, okay, and I put a tweet out that next morning and said, listen, Brad Holmes, like if you do break it down, Brad did cook. In the moment, though, I don't think there was one person, and if you put in the chat or someone does, I don't think there was one person who was like, oh my gosh, we got Jack Campbell and Jahmyr Gibbs on the first day. Like, he killed it. But then in the second day, I had to remember having the conversation with D-Mac, and it's like, me and him were like at lockstep with it, to where I came up to him and I said, listen, we do have to trust Brad Holmes. He's 2 for 2 in drafts. He's proven that he's going to go out and get guys with grit and guys that are with their culture, and he's not going to turn ahead to different guys. He's not going to make, and D-Mac said the same thing, and we were like, all right, this is it. And then we went to the second day, and I went into with that mindset, and they got Laporta, they got Branch, they went and got Hooker, like different things, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Now they're really starting to cook here, and now you guys see, like, now they have 4 guys that in the next couple of years, they're all going to probably be Pro Bowlers, and it's just it's crazy, man.
Seriously,
it's
gonna
nuts.
There's another draft coming up, and they have, I think, top 5 money in the league, so he's gonna get a new draft class.
They have one of the youngest rosters and the most money to spend.
They are gonna have to cut so many good players.
Yeah,
like seriously.
Yeah.
And you think, and this is a topic for another day, but Andrew Jones brought up in the chat, like, Broderick Martin is still lingering there. Like, I know people may think he's a bust so far, but he's a developmental player. Yeah. If he turns into something, like that's another player from this draft. If Hendon Hooker happens to take over for Goff and become the franchise quarterback, or get traded for 2 or 3 picks, if he's tradable, if he's what we think he's going to be, that's a genius move too.
Yeah.
Jeez. It didn't seem like it earlier in the season when we needed a D tackle, but looking back,
they drafted him as a project though. They knew what they was doing.
Yes. Yes.
All right, let's hit break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Booner path here. People are asking, where's the Booner path going forward? And you know what? I just want to have a conversation with people. I want to read some comments. I want to see where you guys are at with the Booner path. Because right now, I called the Booner path. The very first edition of it was 2 home games and get to the NFC Championship game, and we are there. So we need to talk about the future, but tell us about Mark White.
Yeah, so you're dreaming of a new home, but feeling the financial pinch. Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, $5,000, which is about $52 less than Kirby Joseph was fined for pulling Ben Skowronek off of Brian Branch when he was choking him. He got an unnecessary penalty, fined a little over $5,000. But Mark White, they can help you with your closing costs. Call them today, 248-290-8242, or visit them at markwhitesells.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables. New designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Hoodies, tees, the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com and click shop.
All right, welcome back to the Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, whatever you guys are watching on. If you're on the YouTube page, hit the like button for us. KG, where are we at?
We are at 166.
How many more until 200?
34.
34, let's hit it. Not great at math.
Do it for Josh Reynolds, because his name hasn't been talked about today.
Josh Reynolds is a dog. First of all, he had two catches, right? It felt like he had a lot more than 2 catches. I was looking today, I was going through all the stats. 2 catches, one like 9 yards for a touchdown, and the second one, massive first down where he breaks off, gets away, and I think he had like an 18-yard run or something like that, and it was a huge first down. He has been massive for this football team. And you know what else has been massive?
Great size.
The Booner path.
It has. The
Booner path has grown. And you know what? First of all, I've been trying to get merch for it. I'm working on it. I've never had to do that. I don't know how to go about it. I've reached out to people. I don't know how.
It'll come at the same time we get emotes.
Yeah, I just don't know how things work. I'm new to the game here.
But what you aren't new to is the Booner path.
The Booner path. Listen, I want to talk to the people with this, brother. And I want to get your guys' opinion. I want to hear you guys out here. The Booner path, the very start of it 3 months ago, it was, if we get 2 home games, we're going to the NFC Championship game. And then it was, there is a path to win the Super Bowl. There, and right now, I don't even need to lay the path down. We know exactly what it is now. There's no like, hey, if this happens, if this happens, maybe you can get a home game. All of those different paths are done. They're gone. There's 2 different things now that's going to happen. Both of them, they start with go beat the damn 49ers. You go into San Francisco and you dominate the 49ers and you go get a win in San Francisco. Make Brock Purdy shake in his boots. Kyle Shanahan, make them have to think about firing him because he can't go get the big one. That's what you need to do this Sunday. And that's the start of the Booner Path. Secondly, I don't care if you get the Kansas City Chiefs, and I don't care if you get the Baltimore Ravens. Either way, the Detroit Lions are winning that football game.
Preach.
You already showed what you could do versus the Chiefs. I don't care if they had Chris Jones. I don't care if they didn't have Travis Kelce. I don't care who they had, who they didn't have. The Detroit Lions are a better football team than this fraud Chiefs. They are better. We know that. We know what they've been, the Chiefs have been this year. They are a better football team. I'm sorry, Flannel Sam. The Detroit Lions are better right now. And the Baltimore Ravens, KG, we had this conversation at the end of last week.
No.
You play the Baltimore Ravens a second time, I guarantee you, and I will put a Booner lock and guarantee that game will not happen again versus the Baltimore Ravens. You were at a neutral site. You were at the Super Bowl. They are not going to get blown out like they did the first game. If you think a Dan Campbell coach team in one season will get blown out twice by one football team, you are wrong. You need to go check yourself into a mental institute right now. I probably shouldn't say that to someone because I probably need to do the same thing.
Yeah, maybe. But one flew under the cuckoo's
But you see
nest.
what I'm saying, though? Like, this path right now, and KG, can you throw the graphic up of the odds to win the Super Bowl?
I sure can.
Because this is disrespectful as well for the Booner Path. If you're on the Booner Path, you should feel disrespected. You should go at every sports book, and we should all take the Detroit Lions plus 750.
They sleeping.
And you want to know something crazy? And you gambling people know exactly what I'm talking about here. If you guys see who the favorites are right now, who would you? I personally, if national, I'm saying national. Detroit Lions are favorites in my head. They're going to win the whole thing. But if we're talking national media is probably saying what, the Ravens, Lamar, the MVP, right? The fact the 49ers are plus 145, that means the sports books right now are thinking, oh, it's going to be an easy game versus the Lions. It's an easy game.
Good point, Boone.
Oh, the Ravens and Chiefs, they're going to go through a battle. One of those teams obviously has to lose, but 49ers, easy game. Plus 145, that's an easy. No, listen. This is going to be a bloodbath. The path, if you guys think I'm kidding, I have, and I'm not going to play them today. I have clips of people at this network saying the Detroit Lions are frauds, saying the Detroit Lions might not win the division. And this isn't just at the beginning of the year. This is halfway through the year, 3/4 away of the year. This Detroit Lions team's legit. And if you think that they're stopping on Sunday, you're dead wrong. And you should hop off the Booner Path right now. You shouldn't be close to it. Because the Booner Path right now, fellas, this thing is glowing. Rainbows, butterflies, flowers, daisies.
Air is crispy.
Daffodils.
There's people handing
Poppies.
out waters on the side of the path like we're running a marathon.
That was me, and then I joined the path.
And now you're running with us.
Yeah.
Poppies like the Yellow Brick Road. Or I'm comfy, by the way, guys.
Yeah, you are. I want your guys' opinion on this. I know we have to go to break. I wanted to address the Booner Path. And two, real quick, too, and KG, real quick, single one more time.
I got you.
This Booner Path, no matter what happens this season, when they win the Super Bowl, Booner Path is not ending. It's just the end of the path for 2023 and 2024. As soon as the offseason starts, guess what? That path picks right back up because next year, you're competing for a Super Bowl again. And then after that season, you're competing for a Super Bowl again. Lions fans, welcome to being a competent organization. Welcome to being a great football team. You are now in that category of the San Francisco 49ers, where every year you are going to contend for a Super Bowl. We are finally there. This isn't a one-off thing. You have the team, you have the coaching staff, and you have the owner and the GM. Welcome.
It's like Rainbow Road in Mario Kart. Like, you think you're going to be finished, and
Only
it just
problem-
picks right back up again.
Only problem is I drive off that one a lot.
Yeah, I hate that.
But you find your way back on.
I'm
just
elite at Rainbow Road.
Yeah, I'm tough. It's tough for me.
Okay, wrong level
And
to
Anakin
pick.
Skywalker here. Build a dynasty.
Yeah, we
The
are.
Booner Path dynasty, that is what, when I say the Booner Path of the next 5 to 6 years, it's what you call a dynasty.
You have that quarterback, and you have the way that Brad Holmes drafts.
It's
dynasty type shit.
We're doing mailbag too when we get back. I want to throw that out there before you tell us about Planet Fitness. So
Yes,
everyone drop your
sir.
questions in there. If you have questions for me about the Booner Path, I will answer everything. There has been people tweeting at me, ask, oh, what is it? What is it? You just heard what it is. And if you
feeling.
still have questions, ask questions in mailbag, man.
And if you want to join us and run on this Booner path with everybody, you got to go to Planet Fitness. It's home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month. No matter where you are, there's Planet Fitness close by with more than 50 in Metro Detroit. Check out Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
Feel alive during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest New Year's sales event ever. Get the best prices on our huge selection of award-winning Chevrolets. Like this 2024 Equinox for $188 per month. Or this 2024 Silverado for $268 per month. It's the New Year's sales event going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. I got my Chevy Blazer from Feldman, and they had 18 locations, so there might be a dealership near you, too. So the end of the month is coming. Go check out Feldman Chevrolet. Also, check them out every other Monday. They host the Morning Woodward Show and Big D Energy. It's part of what makes Feldman Chevrolet Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hey-o! All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you're on the YouTube. Are we at 200 yet?
Nope.
No, 173.
Everyone hit the like button right now. We're over 300 people watching. We should be over 200 likes. Hit the like button right now.
27 more likes.
Broder, will you do something for 200 likes?
Do something strange.
Yeah.
What will you do? Will you sing a song?
Sure.
All right, Broder will sing a song at 200 likes.
Not a full song, but
little pieces of a song.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Maybe
Baby.
Your Man by Josh Turner.
Little Creed from the squad.
We can do a full team Creed break.
I'm down.
I'm not going to sing. I'm not a good singer.
That's what makes it fun.
You're not on the Booner path?
No, I'm on the Booner, but we don't sing on the Booner path. We're locked in.
We have
Dan
a path
Campbell locked
to
in.
200
Ain't got time for no music.
Yeah, Dan Campbell. If we start singing,
Hey,
shit
boys,
over here. Get back to it. Let's go. All right. Sorry, Dan. First one there. Eduardo O'Neill, mailbag. Notable 3-year rebuild. San Fran, 17-19 NFC title game. Bengals, 19-21 AFC title game. 21-23 Lions NFC title game. Yeah. And those are teams that, like, I know the Bengals, only reason they were out this year is Joe Burrow was hurt. You know?
He's got small hands. He might not have been the
tough one.
answer. Jake Browning is pretty damn good, too.
Freddie said, Broder, Booner, Nick, and KG, I want to thank you guys for being the narrators to this dream season. 2 more games. We are winning the Super Bowl. Booner Path, bang, bang, brand new Lions gang, baby.
Let's go.
No bang, bang, bird gang, bang, bang, Lions, brand new Lions gang, baby. I like that.
Freddie, shout out.
Someone said, C-Dow said, is the Booner Path real life?
Yeah.
We could do something in real life. Maybe we'll do like a little Booner Path 5K for charity.
It'd be a great idea.
I've always wanted to do something for charity.
That's dope.
We can do the Oklahoma drill, or we can play a sport that you think you can
I'd rather
be
just
in.
do like the Booner Path, and I don't know if people would show up, if we can get some people, maybe some Lions players. I'm sure some Lions players would get involved.
And the Kool-Aid is the drinks as you walk by.
Yeah, I'm sure actually we could.
Maybe some spiked Kool-Aid after.
I think I just came up with an idea.
Yeah,
and
we got a copyrighted January 22nd.
Yep. If you guys try and do it, we're just going to clip this and send it in.
I had one from the away fan mailbag. How about them
course
Red
you do.
Wings and finally beating Vassy at LCA? How about the Red Wings?
Hey, come on. The away fan is a valued member.
I love the away fan.
He's a
man.
valued
He is
member.
one of the best.
Would you
we
read
have,
it again?
man. Shout out to
How
the away
about them
fan.
Red Wings finally beating Vassy at LCA? And how about the Red Wings period? Come on now, boys.
Let's go Red Wings, baby!
LGRW.
I might try and go to the game Saturday night. If anyone's going to the game, drop it in there. I might go to it.
So about a week ago.
A week ago.
Oh, yeah, that was great, boys. We were about plus 200 to make the playoffs, and now they're at plus 122. So they're giving us some flowers and respect because we've been on the Red Wing path of beating playoff teams.
I would like to say
of the new year. So
Nick's reputation is on the line for the Red Wings making the playoffs. That was the biggest lock he's ever given me in betting. Me and him, we gambled together.
We like gambling.
That was the biggest
got
one
to
you've
know
ever given
when
to me,
to
and the
fold.
biggest one I've ever placed that you've given to me. A big future. So your life is
keeping
not
my
life,
eye
but
on that
your
line constantly. So
because I put a lot
Let's
on
go.
that when you came in.
Trust the eyes are playing.
Corey Berry said Khalif Sunday. Where we at? What do you think, Broder? Update tomorrow, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know quite yet. They were optimistic that he might be available this weekend, so that gives me a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
But we just don't know until, I guess it'll be Wednesday when Dane Campbell gives us a little bit of an update.
Answer 14. This is a good one, too.
I saw him from...
I think the Lions can go to work on the San Fran secondary. O-line gives Goff time. Dude's going to be running wide open. What do you think? I think Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Sam Laporta, I think those guys...
J-Mo. Don't forget
They
J-Mo.
find... Yeah, J-Mo. First of all, those guys, all of those guys can win in one-on-ones, right? So if you man coverage, go ahead. You're going to... Those guys... One of those guys are going to win a one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go to a zone, we talk about it all the time. Saint and Laporta are two of the best players in the NFL in zone coverage and finding the openings. Some of the best.
They're such warriors.
And Sam's knee is going to get better. He's his route running is like a bit like
He
what he's
played
great
tough.
at. Yeah, well, dude, do you remember what he said? He said going into Sunday, he was like, I feel more comfortable with my route running, and he was like, I can plant now. Like I feel comfortable actually doing it.
Huge.
This Sunday, like that's his like gold thing is, dude, he pop and he gets open.
How about this? Robert Lane, mailbag. Is it normal to be less stressed out about this upcoming NFC Championship game? To me, the Lions already exceeded my expectations, and so anything else that they accomplish is just dessert. I think that's totally fair.
I think it is, yeah.
I don't, and I don't mean, I want you to be, into the game and have the same type of energy, but I know a lot of people have thrown around the phrase, we're playing with house money. Like this is part of the season where a lot of people didn't expect to be, so no, enjoy it.
I think too. I think the most pressure is on the 49ers. I
Yeah.
think all of the pressure in this game, they have lost year after year after year after year in big games with Kyle Shanahan. I think like the pressure's on the 49ers, and I think Dan's going to tell the team that, and it's going to make them even play harder.
Yeah.
Did you have something on that?
No, I don't like the house money term because that's reserved for inferior teams that probably shouldn't be here, but they made it. Like I said, this Lions team is real. We got to start like treating them as such. They are absolutely real.
Good point.
IT Hips, win or lose on Sunday, does Jared Goff get an extension next season? Jared Goff will have an extension, and I said it on the stream. It's going to be 50 or below. I'm guaranteed. I almost want to guarantee that, but I think he will have an extension.
Oh yeah. I just had one. Jeremy Anderson, mailbag. 74 days till Tigers opening day. Let's go Tigers.
Yeah, shout out Tigers, man. I'm ready for that season.
Chef Talks. I saw one from Chef Talks. Mailbag. When will the entire Woodward Sports Network start referring to Jameer Gibbs by his given name?
The
His
electrician.
government
The electrician.
name. The electrician.
Shout out.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I do. Shout out Chef, too. Last one here. We'll do this last one. Eric Burrow, because I saw this before the show, before we came on and got announced. The refs. He said, heard the refs that got the pick for our game are horrible and high-volume flag throws. Should we be worried? I did see
Jorge, too.
As soon as before we came on the show, about an hour before, I was reading the article. It got released. It is the same crew. Do you guys remember that Packers game in 2016? I think it was it Cliff Averill, hands to the face?
Trey Flowers.
Or Trey Flowers, hands to the face.
Yeah.
Number
It's
90,
the
Trey Flowers.
The same. Oh, yes. There we go. Another number.
Somebody in the chat did say that.
Booner, I'm
did,
surprised
yeah.
you didn't have that because you had the jersey.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I
I
was
do.
trying to forget that one, though.
It's the year Trey Flowers left. I was going to a game, and I had to get a jersey. The only jersey at the place I went to was Trey Flowers, and he was still on the team. Bought it. Like 2 weeks later, he got waived.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
That's the only Lions jersey I've ever had in my life.
It was on sale, too, wasn't it?
Yes.
They're like $25.
It was. He got waived 2 weeks later, and it was a bad deal. And that's the only Lions jersey I have.
See you,
but
John
yeah,
Hughes.
tough ref. I don't know why we got that crew. And
His
they
name's
throw.
Cleat.
You know why we got that crew.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Don't play.
But maybe it actually turns out to a good thing for us. Maybe they're going to do that to the 49ers instead of us. We are America's team now.
We'll
Is his
see.
name Cleat Thomas?
They do owe us.
Might be.
The NFL owes us.
Yeah,
Eric
they
Burrow,
do
thanks,
owe us.
Booner. Thank you, Eric. We appreciate all of you guys tuning
Shout
in.
out,
That'll be it for the
everyone.
show today. We'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you guys tune in. Morning Woodward Show 8. Big D Energy, E&E. heavyweights. It will be back here 8 p.m.
Damn right.
Wait, how many likes are we at?
We are at 188.
Make sure you check
12
out
away
Woodward
from
Maine
singing.
with our man Broder.
Thank you.
Woodward and Maine at 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 7 to 8 a.m. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. as well. Love you guys.
Toodles, my G.
Booner Pat.
Detroit Lions, listen, we're going to the NFC Championship game, baby. First time since the 90s, this train and this path is going to keep on rolling and rolling and rolling all the way to the Super Bowl. San Francisco, baby. You're on the clock, Brock Purdy, and we're coming for your head. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, pay that man Jared Goff. Lions, baby, NFC Championship game. Cheers. Hey, 2 more wins for a Super Bowl. We're bringing Lombardi to Detroit, baby. Let's go.